Hello, friends, and welcome to Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Oscar424, with occasional guest appearances from Sleepy Galahad and Sleepy Freya on either side of me right now. We have a really cool show that I will get to in 1 second, but first I have to give you a couple quick announcements. First and foremost, it's season 4! So head over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out that season 4 schedule. And, check out the schedule for if you want some in-depth look at this week's runs, some of the new shows that are premiering. It is awesome. Also, talking about marathons, GDQ's next all-women and femmes speedrunning event, Frost Fatales 2025, is going to be live from March 9th through the March 16th. Submissions are open from now until the end of day Sunday, which is November 24th, and coming up quickly. So head on over to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. Now, you might have noticed I kind of have a thing for the color blue. It's my favorite color. Don't judge. Fellow blue fans, you'll understand. But there's one character that everybody loves that just happens to follow that same awesome color scheme, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog. So we've got a really good 4-pack of Sonic-themed runs we are going with. Let's see here. We have some Sonic Rush Adventure down there, some Sonic Adventure 2 Battle right there. We have a really cool Sonic Heroes run coming up after our next run, which is going to be Sonic 1 Forever, Amy by its Flying Fox. So, Flying Fox, hello and good morning.
Hello.
Everyone cheer Fox on, because it is early.
It's 3 a.m. I'm very sleepy. I apologise.
Don't apologize. No worries. Who's joining me today?
Hi, I'm Supersonic. I am also a classic Sonic speedrunner, and I'll be here for moral support for Flying Fox as she tries to stay awake and do this run.
I appreciate it.
We are all here for you. And chat, you've got Flying Fox's back. I know you do. Let's see some hype in chat. But yeah, whenever you want to get started, go for it.
All right. Do you want to count me down, Supersonic?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay.
All right, we will go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right, hope everyone likes Green Hill, by the way, because we're only going to be seeing it for a very short amount of time. So here we are in Sonic 1 Forever, which is a fan game of Sonic 1 created by Team Forever. This is Amy here, and she has a few cool abilities in which she can do like a hammer spin or like a hammer jump and stuff like that. You see this hammer spin that she's doing right now, it kind of retains her aerial momentum, so she can just kind of hover right across. And you will also notice that spin dashing is also the main form of movement as well in this game. So there's going to be a ton of that. And then of course, like the hammer jump, just giving her a lot of height. So now we're going to see Flying Fox do here. She's going to take this route and grab the speed shoes. So you're going to see her utilize the hammer jumps and the hammer spins. And yeah, Amy is like very powerful in this game, and you will see especially like how powerful she is once she gets to the boss fights here. So yeah, we're pretty much blazing through Green Hill really quickly. As some of you may know, this is actually my backyard. You may see my house over in the mountain over yonder that way.
Literal, I can see my house from here. JPEG.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Yeah, you see utilizing the speed shoes with the hammer spin. Like you kind of notice that Amy was towards the right side of the screen because the camera's like struggling to catch up with her. Now we're finding Dr. Robotnik here, or Dr. Eggman, whichever you prefer. And you kind of notice that she was doing the hammer spin to stay in the air while dealing damage to Robotnik. So basically, Robotnik's hitbox is already activated once he's appearing on screen. So Flying Fox was able to take advantage of that by utilizing the hammer jump and the hammer spin.
That was actually really cool to see that. Just her able to use that hammer and just stay there.
Yeah.
That is slick.
And I think it's because like Robotnik's iframes are also kind of keeping her safe as well. Also, Marble Zone, it's got some nice tunes, but overall, it's actually not a fun zone, especially in Sonic 1 speedrunning. There's a lot of waiting you got to do with these crushers here. So we're just going to just kind of wait there a little bit just for them to come up. And also in this game, there are elemental shields. So you got the fire shield, which she has right now. This will actually protect her from lava and any sort of like fire obstruction. There's also the bubble shield, which we will see later, which will give her the ability to breathe underwater. And you get the lightning shield, which will have rings attracted towards her. So we will be seeing like any of those variations of those shields here. Yeah, we're just about done with Marble 1 here.
I'm loving that the hammer jump as well. It's like she's hitting the ground with the hammer and bouncing up. That is cool.
Yeah, that's actually like one of the abilities that was retained from, I believe, Sonic Adventure. Whenever she does a hammer jump, she just gets a ton of height from it. And they pretty much use that here as an homage to that.
That is nice.
Yeah, you kind of see like utilizing the hammer spin, retaining her momentum, kind of get across like tight gaps. Getting some nice spin dashes here. Do the hammer. You kind of also notice too, like whenever she's doing the hammer spin, Amy's kind of just floating there, but she's not dropping like straight away. She's kind of hovering across just to kind of give her a little more time to get across like huge gaps.
Oh, that is such cool looking movement.
Yeah, the movement for her is like really cool in this game. Like, and usually Sonic 1 isn't really known for like having spin dashing being very useful, but in this case, like it very much is, because I think like Team Forever did like a really good job like keeping true to Sonic 1, but as long as, as well as like adding other things on top of it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh, don't apologize. Do not apologize.
It's totally understandable. It's 3 a.m. I don't know how you're doing this, but you're doing this.
I don't know either.
But anyways, here we are in Marble 3. There is going to be like a quote-unquote auto-scroller section, but since we got Amy here, she doesn't really need to wait anywhere. She can just use a hammer jump, get enough height to get on that ledge, and just keep on going. In the original game, you would have to like push the block into the lava and then wait a good chunk of time. But in this case, we don't have to. So it's actually really nice that we can actually do that. So we're just going to take an intentional damage boost here just to kind of get up on the ledge. Usually it would be ideal to get on top of that spike chandelier thing. Now we're just going to head across over here. We're going to be approaching the boss fight next. And then utilizing more of the hammer jumps right as he spawns in. Yeah, very nice there.
Wow.
Also, there's a nice spin dash there that you can do while the camera is just panning over. You can just pretty much get to the capsule right away.
Nice.
All right, so that's 2 zones down. Coming up next, we're heading into Spring Yard. This is probably like one of the few levels where we're pretty much coping, because this level does say cope in it. Like we will just see right now.
That's a mood right now.
Yep. Cope. Yeah, so they just have like various things. They can say up CPU. No idea what they were trying to go at with that, but I think cope is the funniest one.
I don't even know. It's like, okay.
Perfect level to cope with, actually.
This is a bit of a tight jump. These work. It works.
Yeah, that is a very tight window to get that jump there. Otherwise, you would have to kind of... I think it was like a half pipe kind of style going downward. I mean, I hardly ever remember because we never go down that way anyway. So now we see that more utilizing of the hammer spin, hammer twirl, whatever you want to call it. She's just spinning and being cute because it's Amy. Just made it up there. Very nice.
I would just like to point out that me being fully awake, fully caffeinated, I could not play a fraction as well as you are at going on 3 a.m. I'm just going to point that out.
Flying Fox here is a very talented Sonic speedrunner, and she's basically the queen of Sonic because she's been running Sonic games for a very long time. Huge inspiration for a lot of us Sonic runners here.
Since 2008. By
Yep.
the way. Oh,
And incredibly humble, I will say. Because, yes, we're going to put Flying Fox on the spot. When I reached out to her, she asked, why? Like, you're amazing? What? Next question?
Why?
it's the first time I've been asked to go on the GDQ. So I was like, what?
Like, this is the most wholesome question.
Also utilizing the invincibility here. So the invincibility, I think we have it for about 20 seconds, I believe. So we're pretty much invulnerable to any sort of damage and whatnot. Only thing we are actually vulnerable to is like getting crushed or falling down a pit. But it does help out with boss fights and as well as like just kind of going through where enemies are usually spawning. And just like that, we are already halfway through the game. We're heading into Labyrinth Zone. And if anybody doesn't like water or is afraid of the drowning music, don't worry, because there is no drowning music in this game, as far as I know.
Oh, I changed it to CD, I think.
Oh, okay, that's even better. So
Made it.
no one has to have any sort of anxiety happening and whatnot with the drowning music, because I usually tend to do that in the original, and it just freaks people out. So at least we don't have to hear that, so that's good.
Oh, whoever made that drowning music is evil? Because yes. Even as a kid, I'm like, no, this music needs to stop.
Yeah, it's definitely like very panicky. So
I had it as my alarm once.
Oh gosh.
It didn't work.
You. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
it could be both.
I don't know, I just kept hitting the snooze button.
Flying Fox kept hitting an air bubble at the perfect time.
Exactly, that's the snooze button for you.
Oops.
All right, so here in Labyrinth 2, we're going to be grabbing the invincibility here, and then we're just going to go right into the water. And with spin dashing, it actually makes movement in the water a little easier, as you do retain your spin dash speed in the water. As you can notice, as you're like in normal walking speed, your speed is actually cut in half while you're in the water. And of course, like you hear like the little sound effects of the drowning meter starting. But she got through it just fine, no problem at all.
Oh, dear.
I feel like the yawns are actually a front.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
it's the perfect aesthetic.
Well, it's the second show, so chill vibes, including yawns. It works.
Oh yeah, it's very comfy. Like, I mean, we're in a water level right now. There's nothing comfy about it, but we got some chill, cozy vibes here.
Yawns are the new RNG manipulation. It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally perfect. So here we are in Labyrinth 3. We see that she grabbed the bubble shield. As you can see, that there are no air bubbles coming out, so she is protected in the water. And usually there would be a strat called Bubbleless in the original Sonic 1, in which you would have to get through this section right here without having to grab a bubble. It is a very tight window, but at least for Sonic 1 Forever, it gives you the ability to have the bubble shield, which is a huge godsend for this level.
Nice.
So now we're climbing up the mountain here. We're going to be facing Robotnik yet again. And we're going to be utilizing these hammer jumps here. Skip him. And there's also like these tridents on the walls. I believe they're on a global cycle. So we're just going to take a little bit safe here so we don't actually take damage and fall, because that can be pretty catastrophic there. But Flying Fox here is a pro.
Wow.
Gets through it just fine.
That was
I don't know
impressive.
how I'm doing this.
It's just adrenaline.
Just casual queen of Sonic. I don't know how I'm doing this.
Adrenaline rush.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so here we are in Starlight. This is the calm before the storm, as I like to call it. The first two levels of this zone are fairly quick, just under like 30-ish seconds or so. And Flying Fox is going to be utilizing spin dashing, hammer spins, hammer jumps, you name it. Look at that, 21 seconds. That's really fast.
So what is that? The two spinnies at the end right there. Is it that is a glitch or is that two different paths you can take?
Those are actually two different paths. I don't think I've ever seen the bottom path being taken ever. But yeah, those spinning things are the signposts. They change it from Robotnik to whichever character you're playing as like a completion. And so this part right here, we're going to see Flying Fox go on the ceiling. They actually made it solid in this version. In the original, there's actually like broken areas they can just kind of fall right through.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, you can just kind of get past that level really quickly. And now we got Act 3. Act 3. So yeah, utilize the hammer spin to get on that that seesaw. It'd be taking this bottom path here, then go upwards this way, and then going up on the ceiling since it is solid. Being able to utilize the spin dash to get on the ledge. There's this part right here, which is usually stuff I never really see, but we get to the boss really quickly. And this boss is very annoying to deal with originally, but Amy doesn't really need to utilize the seesaws very much, mainly because she has a hammer jump. So with the hammer jumps, you pretty much get thrown up into the air, hitting Robotnik, and then just go right straight back down. And we are done with that level now.
That is so impressive.
Almost there, Flying Fox. Hang in there. All right, this is the last zone of the game. This is Scrap Brain. So first we are outside. We're kind of like in this factory area. There's a lightning shield there, but don't really need it in this case. You're gonna see her try to get past these platforms here. Very nice.
Ooh, so those little platforms, would they have stopped her?
It would have, yeah.
Oh wow.
So she just barely snuck through there. And just like that, very quickly, Scrap Brain 1 is done. So now in Scrap Brain 2, we're gonna be heading inside Robotnik's base. And there's gonna be a bunch of chainsaws, a bunch of like swinging ball and chains, and that thing that is like staring into the background at us, which we like to call Jurgen. I don't know where that name came from. I think Argic was the one that came up with it or something. I don't know.
I cannot unsee that now.
Sorry, the wheels are being very annoying.
Yeah, those gears in this game are very like they don't like to respond very well.
They don't.
So we're just gonna utilize the restart. I mean, it's very quick when you restart the level, so it's not not that big of a deal. But yeah, just getting through that section is very treacherous. Especially like Scrap Brain 2 in general, it is a very cycle heavy level. And as you can see there, like take the damage boost, spin dash right through. Don't have to worry about like the swinging ball and chains dealing damage. All right, now we're gonna take damage here. Do another spin dash to get across the conveyor belts.
Again, what does the damage boost do for those that might not be too sure? That person is me.
So when you take damage, you pretty much come to a complete stop, and you have iframes in which you can just kind of pass through like enemies or any sort of obstructions that are in the way. So when Flying Fox took damage there, she utilized a spin dash just to kind of get right through those swinging ball and chains without having to wait.
Gotcha.
Yep. And here we are in Labyrinth 4, aka Scrap Brain 3. It's basically Labyrinth 4, like we like to call it. But instead, we got some purple grape juice here that we're going into. And this level is actually very short as well. Usually, if you take the water route, it is a very long level. But if you just take the path that Flying Fox is going right now, you can pretty much finish this level very quickly and head into the final fight here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is final zone. There are no rings in this boss fight. And we get to see Jurgen in the background the entire time.
I am getting so judged by.
Yeah, so Robotnik will pretty much show up in any of those 4 pistons. The top ones are 1 and 3. The bottom ones 2 and 4. There is a manipulation you can do in the original Genesis version, but in this case, I think this is purely RNG in this case. But we don't have to worry about it too much because Amy is really cool, and Flying Fox is able to tell where Robotnik is going to be. Because you kind of see like Robotnik just kind of slowly appearing and then just make his like full speed like, showing upward. There's like a couple more hits left if I recall. I wasn't really keeping track of how many hits there were. Oh, there we go.
That's how many hits?
Yep. Time is going to be on fade out here.
Whee! Bye-bye. Okay. And
Time.
GG!
That is a very solid run.
What was the time?
It is, I'm about 18 minutes, 18:10.
That's a PB.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk? So basically what you're saying is sleepy all the time.
I think. Well, I PB'd earlier, got an 1827.
Well, you gotta update that PB now, because that's an 1810.
I'm not with it.
How do you do that, Flying Fox? Like every time you do a marathon run, you just PB out of nowhere.
Supersonic, I once got a world record in Sonic Blast at 2:30 in the morning. And I was not with it. And I was like, oh, that's world record. Okay, good night, everyone. And I just shut the stream down.
Flying Fox gonna wake up tomorrow. Oh, let's see how that run actually went. Oh, PB. Oh, okay. Comment in chat. She gets a PB in her sleep. I mean, yeah.
Pretty much. That's the best way to put it.
But yeah, GG's, and I won't keep you too much longer, but both of you gotta let everybody know where can they find you, and when it's not 3 in the morning, what you playing?
You can find me on Twitch. It's Flying Fox. I mainly do 2D Sonic speedruns, but I'm going to be hopefully doing a little bit of Sonic X Shadow Generations to submit to Frame for Tales, hopefully.
Yay!
And you can find me at twitch.tv/supersonic_. I usually do a lot of classic Sonic speedruns. I pretty much dabble into a lot of retro games like Mario, Sonic, Zelda, Pokemon, you name it. I probably may have ran it at some point. But yeah, I'm also going to be learning Sonic X Shadow Generations as well on the side. And yeah, I usually speedrun on the daily, Monday through Friday. And then, yeah, that's usually what I do. You can just find me there and hang out with some chill, cozy vibes and a bunch of sheeps going meep.
Love it, love it. Again, thank you both so much for being on here. Flying Fox, congratulations on the PB, the sleepy PB. Give GG's chat one more time to Flying Fox, to Supersonic. But sit tight or rehydrate, do what you want. Before, though, we go to break, I have one thing to say, and that is, you've seen those really cool, like, spin emotes that GDQ has? Well, you get those by subbing to the channel, and any subs, any Prime Gaming subs, any gift subs, and any bits that you cheer on the GDQ Twitch channel, that's right here, will help support Games Done Quick, Hotfix, and shows like Express Lane. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, including Sleepy PBs, make sure you consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and just chat with other subscribers during our replays. So, all right, sit tight. We've got more Sonic coming, specifically some Team Chaotix in Sonic Heroes. Hello, friends. We are back with more Express Lane and our Sonic and Friends episode. Before we head to the next run, of course, I have a couple things I have to tell you, and this is all AGDQ related because AGDQ 2025 is going to be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th through the 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open, but gotta go quickly, so head to gamesdonequick.com and check the AGDQ 2025 important dates section to learn everything you need to know about the marathon. Also, you can find the schedule because that is also out. So specifically go to gamesdonequick.com/schedule if you want to check out the schedule and let us know what you're most excited to see. The new game, the second round submission period for games released after September 6th is open right now. And you don't have much time to submit to those. So it's actually going to be open until the end of day, Thursday, November 21st. So if you have a game that came out after September 6th, head on over and submit it. But without further ado, we have more Sonic and Friends. And this particular time, we have some Sonic heroes, but not Sonic. We are going with Team Chaotix by KD4. So KD4, take it away.
Hey everyone, KD4 here, and I welcome you to Team Chaotix LTS. I have my commentators with me here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Gameit. I run Sonic Heroes.
Hi, I'm Yu. I also run Sonic Heroes.
And I'm the Superior. I do also run Sonic Heroes.
I was expecting one of you to say, I've never heard of this game before.
Yeah. So we have a funny language here. Asuka decided to choose Dutch. I would like to introduce you to some great stuff, although I actually have to change the language again. Whoops. Let's do that. So we got Optionien. Then we got Hap Menu. Then we go to Modus Fur 1 SP, and we go to Handlung. So yeah. All right. Gonna start countdown from 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
BLs.
I'm going to take the first little opportunity here to kind of explain the category. So we're playing the Team Chaotix. There's like 4 kind of main story modes to this game with all different characters. Team Chaotix, their kind of gimmick is that their levels all have like kind of gimmicks as opposed to just getting to the end of the level. So throughout all the different levels, we'll be able to talk about each level and what they like specifically request. Usually it's like collecting items or something akin to that. So this one is collecting hermit crabs. And also LTS specifically is just a category that bans kind of the main glitches in the game. The ones that would like skip major parts of levels. So bot boosting and power flying, if you're familiar with the game, those are skipped because they like cut minutes off of levels sometimes, and they're also just kind of inconsistent in a way that a lot of people prefer LTS for just like getting into the nitty gritty, into the movement, and kind of experiencing the game that way as a speedrun.
Thankfully, it doesn't really change too much with Chaotix. Chaotix only really has three levels that actually change due to bot boosting and other tech, like pinball launches, which you'll see pinball, because this game does have cool pinball. We love pinball. But otherwise, it's very similar to what we find in Unrestricted, which is the category that has all the funny tricks and that. But for now, up until we get to Casino Park, pretty much this run is going to be exactly the same, where Katie has actually gotten all the first 10 crabs as quickly as possible. Like, was the goal. There are 20 total in that stage, and we only end up collecting 10, which is the first 10, because those are, of course, the fastest to grab. But stuff like Ocean Palace, where technically this does have a mission, but it's in reality a get to the end stage, like if, for say, we had a gold ring at the end. Because the main objective of this is to go and grab a chow that's at the end of the stage, which basically just acts as a gold ring. So this is going to be a very standard stage. Katie's going to be moving through, and one thing you're going to be seeing a lot from her is she's going to actually be going to Vector, ground pounding in the air, and swapping to SBO, which we call a ground excel, which actually it transfers the speed that Vector actually goes into the ground with into just forward momentum with SBO, which just sends us flying right at top speed. So that's really nice for the belly flop teams, because this is what Chaotix is really considered. There are two types of teams. You have the kick teams and the belly flop teams. And just to simplify it, belly flop team's fastest form of movement is starting up with the ground excel to get to top speed because they don't have the option to kick like the kick teams. We're going to be heading to the end of the level. Ocean Palace.
Are we getting the insane time? Oh, we're so far off.
Not insane.
Not insane.
Not insane, unfortunately.
Very solid time still. And
Yeah, for
moving
sure.
on to the boss.
Impossible feat. Ultimate ninja power.
Now, one thing for people that might not really be exposed to much Sonic Heroes, could you do a quick little explanation of some of the different teams have the different representatives, blue, yellow, and red, what all that means to people?
Yeah, of course. So Sonic Heroes has our three different, our team combinations. And we have, the blue is your speed character, the yellow is your flight character, and the red is your power character. So of course, with as we're speedrunning, a lot of times you do want to stick with the speed character. They have the fastest general movement, and a lot of times their almost like deceleration cap is a lot less. So what happens is that when you are, say if you're moving at full speed and then you switch to your power and your flight character, you'll slow down a lot more. It actually does help with certain handling things sometimes, but of course your speed character is obviously where you want to be. You have your action, so you talked about the kick. And so the other character, Sonic and Shadow, have a kick where you'll be able, if you kick, you go forward. And then SBO in this case, and Team Chaotix has a star throw. It doesn't slow him down or anything, but it also doesn't move him forward. And so you'll see it for, there'll be a certain thing in Grand Metro coming up where we do our action jumps, where when you do a star throw or a kick or a hammer swing, you're actually still considered grounded and you'll be able to jump. And so there's stuff like that. You have your flight character with Charmy. You'll be able to jump up in the air and then fly. You'll have a flight meter if when you move forward a certain distance, that flight meter will run out and you'll fall. And then Charmy also has his Thunder Shoot attack where you'll be able to hit enemies, and depending on your levels, which we'll actually get into in Grand Metro, it's a great transition for that. You'll either be able to stun enemies or you'll just be able to flat out kill them if you are level 2 or above. And then of course there's Vector, which is your big combat guy in the thing. With the belly flop characters, so not only do they have the belly flop, and the belly flop actually does a lot of damage, but also they generally, when you press B, it'll kind of the teammates will kind of go up to you. Vector almost kind of puts them in his mouth, and then he can spit them out after the fact, and that also does a lot of damage. So you can kind of do a lot of that. A lot of the combat stuff will involve Vector. So you see right here in Grand Metro, you use the startup animation of the belly flop to kill the turtle, and then as the blue wall is forming, then you can kind of go through and then keep going. So with Grand Metro, this is one of the big 3 massive stages in the game. 85 enemies you have to kill. And there are only 85 enemies in the stage, so you cannot miss a single one.
Oh no.
It's super cool in terms of the idea of the routing and really looking at some of the heroes' combat in the sense of being able to move around a lot. And so this stage has actually gone through quite a few developments recently coming up. It's something I wanted to talk about. It's kind of a real niche heroes thing. The power character, one thing that all the power characters have, it's hard to see right there, but when they're idle, the characters will actually auto attack enemies, your friendly characters. And so what happens is we've kind of gotten through in a ways where we can switch from SBO to Vector and then back to SBO to make sure that either SBO or Charmy, mostly SBO, will be able to hit these enemies. So hopefully we can try to see it here. Katie will navigate in a way where SBO will hit Vector as Vector passes by. And it's something that's super cool about this stage that we've started to see a lot, literally very recently this year in 2024. Yeah, Grand Metro is a super sick stage where we're trying to see a lot of the places where it's we can optimize how to kill enemies and get through the combat and stuff. And one thing when it comes down, so I talked about the levels, so you can get levels either in 2 ways, either by hitting the checkpoint. So depending on who your active character is, when you hit a checkpoint, it will level them up, or for every 5 enemies, it'll give you a level up for the character that you're not controlling. So if you kill your 5th enemy as SBO, you can get a Charmy or a Vector level. and then so on and so forth. So we actually do route the enemies that we kill based on wanting particular level ups early and hoping that we can get that 50-50 RNG.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of details to the levels in this game, and I think in this game there's also just a lot of like creativity, and I guess like self-expression is the thing that I think of in terms of like how you play the game. There's so many different ways to do a section of the level, and they're all fast, and that's part of the reason I really like this game. But even like when we were mentioning earlier, like all the different characters, they also all have like their own useful tech. Like they're all used just about equally throughout. Like with Charmy having like zips and catch-up flights, and obviously Vector, you have like ground excels and glides. Like the power characters have glides, which are extremely powerful for if you get a lot of speed to just like zoom over entire sections of the level. And then yeah, obviously Speed character is kind of mostly seen, but there's just so much potential, and there's constantly science being done on all the levels.
That is cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't even really get to the glides. Hopefully, we'll be able to see it a little more. I think, funnily enough, the next few levels won't really be able to show off how cool glides are in the game. It's one of my favorite things. It almost kind of like has its own sort of like section you can kind of do with it. But basically, yeah, what Game was alluding to, you basically don't actually go and like you get to like maintain a lot of that speed that you carry in glides, and allows you to cross a lot of gaps. But before we get there, of course, we do have power plant. We just missed Katie taking a purposeful death by using a backtrack flower to kill a turtle at the end of the stage, and then kind of like restarting back at the start. The death saves, I think, in like barely a second. You can just get back in the flower, but of course we are going to take all the time save we can. But there are 5 total gold turtles in the stage, and we are tasked with killing 3 of them. And of course, the 2 turtles that we just killed, a really cool strat there. The Rocket Excel, the one of the few things I didn't talk about there, when you hold B and your teammates get behind you, and then when you let go of B or you press it again, either one or both of your teammates will push you, and it has a wind effect. Where it'll push enemy and enemies will fly up in the air. So we can use it. The wind effect is massive, so you can use it to Rocket Excel in the box and then throw the turtle up, and then you can homing attack, and your friends will actually follow the turtle and kill them. And that's what you saw Katie just do there. And of course here we have Team Dark, a very, very quick fight to try to talk about it as quickly as I can. Because,
what?
Yeah, they're already gone. Yes. So the team fights are very interesting in this game because they are all manipulated by your inputs, which means that we can manipulate them to basically do almost whatever we want as long as we know what does what. And so there we switch to flight and move to the right, and Omega punched and is like following. And so when we jump off, as soon as we let go of A, the release of A causes Omega to jump with his teammates after he punched. And they all fall off with you.
Yeah, they went bye-bye.
So, yeah.
Charmy loves gambling, by the way.
Oh, jeez. I love these little cutscenes with the different different characters. This is fantastic.
Yeah, so the gimmick for this stage is to collect 200 rings. You can see Katie's going somewhere very specific. So she gets in this cannon as Charmy, and she's going to position herself above this little slot machine here, and thunder shoot her teammates down into it. And you can see now she's just getting rings. And you can keep doing this forever. I think it caps at like 999. But either way, the level's finished.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's really cool. So standing in that specific spot is super interesting because basically what's happening there is that your teammate is basically stuck. It was like Katie actually did a really good job kind of like showing the camera angle where Vector is like keeping, like he's like continuously going in and out of the slot machine. And when your teammates are in there, because you can't actively really like control what slot they get, the game actually just gives you like a set amount of rings. So you just keep getting rings over and over again because you got them stuck in there. So it's a nice little infinite multiverse that Team Chaotix has to basically completely wipe any RNG you have out of that stage.
Is it just Team Chaotix, or can other teams do that?
Other teams can also do it, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that brings up to another quick question for all of you. Which team is your favorite to run?
Team
And
Sonic,
why?
without a doubt. It's not even a contest.
For me, it's this one. I love this is my favorite category like ever.
Yeah, I'm with Katie on liking Team Sonic better. The Team Sonic is just so fun. The levels are like perfect length. The movement is just amazing with them the entire time. It's great. I love that category.
I'm somewhere between Team Sonic and then I also like Team Rose a lot, but that's because it's just a little bit
Unfortunate.
easier, and it's I like having a category that's more short and I'm better at, I guess.
I mean, that's a valid.
Yeah.
argument.
I mean, Team Rose is definitely a nice beginner-friendly category for sure.
So then all the levels are different for the different teams? Like different lengths?
They're actually all the same. The
Oh.
one stipulation is that they're usually different difficulty levels, I guess. So
Okay.
Team Rose is meant to be the easy mode. Team Sonic is meant to be the more like normal mode. Oh, that was a really good time. Dang. And Team Chaotix is like the mission mode where you do a bunch of random things. Team
Gotcha.
Dark is actually the hard mode. They just spam a bunch of enemies everywhere, and the stages are extra long.
Yeah,
there
there's
was a
118
comment.
is incredible, and we didn't even talk about it.
There was a comment in chat going, lies, every hero speedrunner loves speedrunning with Team Dark, especially Team Dark Extra.
Oh my.
Oh,
Deku does love that category. Kirby might be onto something.
oh yeah, there's this too.
Oh?
We did get
The funny
frame, yeah,
repress.
so-
Wait, whoa, hold on!
yeah.
Wait for it.
Oh, it gets better.
What?
So that's Funny Frame. Funny Frame is essentially if you... Oh, I'm doing this the wrong way. There we go.
We fixed it. It's okay.
Funny Frame is basically if you press B on like a precise frame, you can mess up the cutscene, and it's very funny.
love that.
That's why we call it Funny Frame.
Yep. So on these team fights, she's gonna be really careful to kill the enemies in a specific way to maximize the chances that she gets the right levels that she needs. So like here, early Charmy 2 is absolutely what you want to see, and her getting at this wave is really good because otherwise you can lose a lot of time. Because Charmy can one-shot basically almost every enemy in this fight, except for some of the stronger enemies you'll see later. Like the ones that she needs SP level 3 for, which she also just got, so. Chaotix has some of the most interesting team fights in my opinion, because there's so many backups you need to have in mind. But it's also the most brutal, like objectively, when it comes to, you just lose a lot of time if you don't get the ideal RNG, and there's a lot of potential for losing time.
Because it's like Katie said, the Dark is the hard mode of this game, but it's arguable whether their robot wave fights are harder because Team Dark actually gets an out in having the shortest Team Blast animation, because the thing with Team Blast in this game is that we time this game from the file timer, and Dark and like the Team Blast actually does count towards the final time. So Team Dark has the shortest one and Team Chaotix has the longest one. So anytime you want a Team Blast, it is probably faster to kill the robot with like normally. So yeah, you really don't want a Team Blast, which makes a lot of the backups a lot harder because most of the Team Dark is just doing a glitch known as Team Blast glitch to fill your meter up really fast to just be able to Team Blast basically every wave. So their robot fights are actually very easy compared to Chaotix in that way.
One thing that's also really interesting about that, to like talk about that, is that also one thing about the Dark fights versus Chaotix. So first off, the Team Blast difference is like immense. It's like 5 seconds for Team Dark, and it's like 9.2 for Chaotix. It's like massive. But the other thing is that also the Team Dark enemies take a lot longer to kill. So like they try to throw, so say for example, we throw out some numbers. The normal enemies have say 3 HP, and like punching somebody does 3 damage. Later fights, a lot of Team Dark enemies, you have like the gold variants, where instead of 3, they have 9 HP, which means they also just take longer to kill. And then there's also these big guys with hammers that have like 30. and Dark spams all those guys, the gold guys and the hammer guys. And so a lot of times, even with a Team Chaotix Team Blast, it might be faster. But a lot of times Team Chaotix has very similar enemies to, say, like the Team Sonic enemies, which are just very much normal, like what you would expect out of like what you'd want out of a combat wave that isn't trying to spam enemies at you. So that also is kind of weird, where it's like, you can kill them faster than how a Team Blast would be, where honestly, like a Team Dark, it is really funny watching some of those team fights if you didn't Team Blast.
Yeah, and just in the beginning of this level in Rail Canyon, you can see some of the glides that we were talking about. When you see Vector kind of blow up his bubblegum, and like right here. Okay, this is called the DSS glide. It's a very nice glide.
Shout out to DSS.
Use the invisible wall to keep yourself afloat for longer. It looks really weird, especially if you're good at the game and you know. She gets this glide also.
The good old glide.
Very cool glide, using the skewed gravity to give yourself, I guess, different gravity or different speed. I'm not sure why that glide is so powerful, but also, if you'll see, for most of these glides, she pauses before the glide actually happens. That's essentially just using the pause to get the two A presses for the glide closer together. It's very similar to a pause hover in Sonic Adventure 2, if you happen to know that tech also. It's the same kind of principle, but it's very cool, and it's also a pretty new phenomenon where all the top level players are implementing pauses for almost all their glides because it just gives them more speed.
Oh, neat.
No, it is super sick. We're going to see another glide coming up later. That's just kind of like in terms of the idea of carrying a lot of your speed. You'll see a lot of, well, in every single category, doing glides off rails is very, very important because you can have a lot of speed and carry a lot of speed through a lot of these rail glides, and a lot of it can be kind of like skipping from like one rail section to another to just like eliminating as much rail grinding as possible, just because, you know, it can be kind of slow, and if you can skip it, you will. And so, I mean, 2:24, super nice time. Of course, Katie getting both of like the big glides, the DSS glide and the glide she got right after. The one right after that is extremely difficult and like really finicky. So the fact that getting both and then, you know, converting it into a good time like that is crazy. So that's super sick. And coming up, we have Bullet Station. This is the second of our big, massive 3 stages. I said there were 3 big stages earlier, and this is the second one. There are 50 capsules in the stage. You don't have to break all of them. We only have to break 30, but it's still quite a long stage. We are also looking for a cycle about halfway through the stage, but I love this stage. This is like my favorite stage ever. It's so sick seeing all of there's so much like button pressing and like movement going on in terms of like how to break the capsules in like a super fast way, and it has like just enough rail movement but also like enough kind of like stuff you're doing like on the ground that really cool. And so this is a very new development in terms of trying to get a new cycle to belly flop down there to break that capsule. We'd actually would skip that capsule to get another one because we thought it was slow, but we're instead going to skip one later that it will be coming up very soon. And so instead, we're going to do a roll clip to get through a door that we previously wouldn't go to before. So rolling in this game makes your like hurt box smaller. And so what happens is if you're going really fast and you time, so say in that case, timing a rocket accel to make us go, to give us a real big burst of speed, and then you time your roll around the time right before you hit the door, or like as you hit the door, you'll clip through it. And so that one, thankfully, is a lot easier than some other ones that we have to do throughout other categories, because going from that cannon, you have quite a bit of speed. And rocket accels do actually take like your initial speed in mind, so you just get a ton of speed going through. So the window is big. But yeah, no, being able to do that roll clip, if instead what we used to do is we would actually go off to the right, and there is, like, that's what you're supposed to do, and there's like a switch that opens the door off to the right, and there's also a capsule there. But it's a lot faster if we can do it that way with the roll clip.
And one thing I'll say that it's kind of alluded to in chat is partially why I love just watching Sonic speedruns is with the button presses and just the always hyper fast movement. I legitimately, I'm so smooth brained. I don't know how all of you can like keep track of everything that's going on at any point in time during a Sonic run.
So much practice. You would not believe how much time it takes.
Yeah, this is also up there. It's just one of the hardest 3D Sonic runs. It's like the APM is insane for this game.
Yeah, I actually would call this kind of like the melee of like 3D Sonic, which sounds kind of cringe, I know, but I actually think this game has an insane action per minute.
Melee of Sonic, jeez.
I'm the Dark Souls of your life.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, so again, it's like, yeah, I would say, like, saying the melee, just like the idea of the actions per minute, because I probably wouldn't say that this is the hardest 3D Sonic game. It is probably the second or third hardest, but it maybe people could say it's the hardest. It depends on how all the Unleashed people feel, because that's the game I think is the hardest. Is Unleashed, like, definitely. So it's like, but yeah, no, like the actions per minute, the buttons you press, and also like the idea of the unique buttons per minute that you're pressing is crazy. There's a lot of like, you're just trying to do a lot of very different things to get things done. But again, I think honestly one of the other things with here is there's a lot of just random things you have to know. Because there's 3 characters that you have to control at the same time and this game doesn't function how it should, there's a lot of like knowledge check things that you kind of get sometimes. I see. Egg Albatross starting right. So this basically like a 3-phase boss fight where you take away 3 sections of this airship. And so Vector, in comparison to other power characters, when he does his punch, and like when he gets his teammates in his mouth, basically, he has a lot less iframes than other characters. And so when doing this fight compared to other teams, sometimes when you say hit this phase here coming up, right there, Katie was able to get the thing where she wanted, where it hops her up and then she's able to hit. But as you saw in the previous attempt, she actually did get hit and then ended up dying. That happens quite a bit in this fight if you're not very careful with the particular way that you do it, because of the way that the Vector iframes are so much worse than everybody else.
Yeah, a little blemish.
Just another, I guess, continuing the topic of like the button presses in this game is like for other Sonic games and for maybe a lot of speedrun games, like it's not just 2 buttons we have to do. It's also we have to do the character swap buttons for like almost continually throughout the runs. Like if you just look at the character wheel, you'll see that she's always gonna be switching characters, and like just learning the game, like you can just get confused at like what character you have selected and like what button you have to press for the next section and stuff like that. So the like every category in this game that I've learned has felt like the hardest speedrun that I've done so far, but it's been so rewarding to get better at it also.
So this glide coming up, Katie will get a second try at it. Yes, this glide is so sick. So again, this game just doesn't function how you think it would sometimes. So loops are really silly in this game. So what Katie did there was build a lot of speed off of the loop. We do that by continuously rolling through the hill. And I'll talk about how we do that in just a moment, because Katie is also doing it there, the pause unrolls. But this game doesn't work. So we get to see it again. Woo! Okay. Yeah, this game's really cool. So Katie, for that last pause that she's doing, she's actually going to neutral stick and then switching to Vector, because not holding a direction there essentially makes it so that you essentially get control again. And sometimes you may not want that, like say if like you're playing casually, like if you just hold the directions, you'll be fine. But there, it means that we can kind of go off of the side and use all that speed we gain off of the loop to get a massive glide, skipping that kind of the speed pads and like that section above and just going straight to the rails we're about to go to. Saves about a second, but it looks so cool. It's also pretty difficult until you get the hang of it. It's super weird.
What is happening?
I saw that.
That was a Vector moment. I'll wait to talk about the Vector moments till later.
Yeah, that'll be useful. At another point, not there.
Trust.
It's like comment in chat, Floor said nope.
Yeah, that was unexplainable. That's just.
Yeah, that's
being
just
silly.
Sonic Heroes.
Katie, would you like to say the thing?
I'm silly?
It's never happened before.
Oh, that's never happened before.
Yes.
It has definitely happened before,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Happened a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic Heroes is the game that keeps on getting.
Oh, it's so weird. There's actually so many like weird collision clips like that, and I feel like at some point we're gonna be able to explain them eventually. But like as of right now, they basically make like 5% sense maybe. It's really stupid. It's like for some reason when you hit a corner like that, it just like clips you again. It just like clips you out for some reason. Just like hitting corners in very specific ways. But like in terms of like actually recreating it, well, we don't know yet. It's super weird.
Fair.
Yeah, and the whole gimmick for that level, by the way, is that you can't get seen by the frogs, but they're not very good at seeing you, so it doesn't end up mattering too much.
Shoutouts to Gameit, by the way.
Yeah, so Lost Jungle. So this is a level where you have to collect 10 Chow, and you're gonna see Katie going up to collect this Chow at the very top. This was invented by me, I guess. I thought we could get this Chow instead of killing the robot further down and then jump down. And especially, she's gonna die at this robot, which is intentional, and go into this flower, which takes you to the end of the stage. So the way that we used to do this is do everything backwards. We used to go up here first and get these 7 Chow, and then die at the bottom of this part of the stage. And basically, I guess I just rerouted it and realized, especially with help with Deku and him finding out that you could die from the robot up there, that this route is faster and actually consistent. So it's epic.
That was an epic time.
That was
Thank
an
you,
epic
Gameit.
time.
That was very good.
Very, very good.
All thanks to
Tim's
Gameit.
like,
Yeah.
Thanks, Gameit.
Can we all say good buddy Gameit in chat?
Good buddy Gameit.
Ironic
It's
thing is
alright,
that
I
I'm
guess.
really bad at that level. So
I'm gonna give Rausai here the controller. I hope that's
Ooh.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, Ralsei is really good at this stage. You just watch.
Yeah.
Trust.
There's gotta be a major misunderstanding.
Oh my god, Rausai is the goat.
Oh, he's so good.
Jeez.
Rausai, would you care to explain what happened? No?
No.
Okay. That's fine. You can get back your Dr. Pepper now.
Yeah.
I'll help the little buddy. So, like we were mentioning back in Team Dark, this works the same exact way for Team Rose. And for that entire fight, as you can see, all Katie had to do was hold left. And because of like how they jump and like hit SVO, they kind of just don't have any like way of getting back to the stage because you're not really doing anything different. They're just programmed to run towards you and jump right at the edge. So they don't try to get away from the ledge and just fall right in and die. And that beats them.
Owned.
Yeah.
Well coded AI right there.
Luckily, most of those team fights are very easy to manipulate. I think the one earlier in this category against Team Dark is actually one of the harder ones, but I feel like also most runners get that consistent.
Upside down. Let's go. Should we trust the torches and follow the imaginary path?
So there's another.
All right. Am I a super?
Shoutouts to Soup. If you want to explain that too.
Yeah, let's say. Well, I mean, we'll see if we get it. So, so here the objective is to collect 10 keys. There are only 10 keys, so these will be all 10 keys. But right there, so what Katie did, the route is basically like how you would do it. We get the second key a little early, but right there, right before we grab the second key, there was one anti-gravity switch after the flower. And if you get to it fast enough, yes, the flower opens up by itself. It's flower glitch. So when if you leave the flower fast enough from when it's at like after you like say activate it, go through it, if the flower like say like despawns or you like go far enough away from it, the next flower will open up immediately. And so that's actually what happened there with Katie. It was a very like specific way to try to like time the movement so that the flower would in fact go. And Katie is doing this roll clip as well. So
That's so clean. It's so free.
It's
so easy. Definitely. We're definitely not lying. Okay. Meathead, I need you.
Yeah, so
Let's go, British.
You guys can explain that if you want to. Vector moment.
All right. Well, remember when we were like freaking out about Vector back in Frog Bars? Well, the thing with Vector is he's the only power character that for whatever reason you can land on and stand on his head. And because of that, because of how flight works, when you land, you actually get your flight back. And because we're able to shoot off a Vector and stand on his head while flying, that resets our flight meter. So we are actually able to escape the flight cap that happens when you flight excel to actually just fly back up, fly all the way up to the platform without having to take the gravity switch.
yeah, that's the infinite flight glitch. You can actually use it to pretty reliably go out of bounds and kind of just explore out of bounds if that's up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, we use a wall as a proxy to keep Vector in place, but you're actually realistically able to just set that up anywhere if you know how to do it.
Yeah, so at the beginning of Mystic Mansion, this is another level where the RNG matters, and the robot she killed just 2 rooms back. We're looking for an Espio level, and unfortunately she got a Charmy level, and the reason we need Espio is because Espio level 3 gives him a wind effect. So for this level we need to put out all the torches. A level 3 Espio will just be able to homing attack them, and his wind effect will put out the torches instantly. The only other thing we do is Tornado, but that takes a bit longer. But for how many torches she's gonna have to do coming up, it saves a lot of time to get level 3. So here's her chance.
Yeah, let's go.
Only the best RNG.
All right, let me welcome you to the torture chamber. Imagine how much faster it would be if I could just homing attack all of these right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she can't use the wind effect from the Rocket Accelerator because they're just high enough that it doesn't hit. So we got a tornado everything.
no.
It is really funny that all of these candles are different heights because it's like some of them you can do that Rocket Excel wind effect, but with these are not one of them.
And let me tell you, this checkpoint here is so funny. They put that there on purpose, just to say, you know what, that was awesome. Go have your fun now.
Yeah.
You can have fun. As you can tell by the 60 count, this is the third big one. Third big stage. That door clip is so sick. Easier than you'd think too, but no.
Might actually be free.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, that door clip was crazy. But yeah, 60 torches. You do have to get all 60. This is the big infamous one if you played Sonic Heroes casually. You know this level if you got here in Team Chaotix.
Yeah, luckily, and I don't think we explicitly mentioned it, but for any of these ones with counters, like runners are constantly looking at the bottom right and just making sure that, okay, I have this much at this part of the level, I'm good, or, you know, oh, I'm actually missing one, I can like just do a short backtrack rather than like getting to the end of the level and realizing that you're missing one. Just keeping track and like making sure your number is correct for the part of the level. Like all runners like know that. It's important knowledge, so.
Let's go. There's a switch up there, SBO.
That spiderweb move is terrifying, but Katie navigating it like a pro, of course.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she's doing.
What are you thinking about?
And there's no big scary trials level at the end of this category, luckily.
Katie, 315 with bad RNG. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Some would say that's pretty cool.
Impossible.
Okay, time.
I sense some sadness rain clouds in the commentary.
Oh my goodness. That time is like incredible.
She might just be
Again,
a bit better than all of us.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But yeah, no,
don't
like,
beat yourselves up.
It's like so as a reference to give the chat.
What? Wait, what is going on right now with that screen?
That's another funny frame. Yeah.
Oh
We
my
did it.
God.
We got it again, 2 for 2. But yeah, so we all made a big fuss when a sub 3 Mystic Mansion happened. That was like crazy. It was insane. We were like, oh my goodness. Somebody finally did it. That's like an incredible time. That RNG loses about 15 seconds if you go for there's 2 chances to get the RNG if you go for both chances. Yeah, it loses about 15 seconds. So getting a 3:15 there is basically like you're like right on the cusp of sub 3. Wow. Getting that. So that time is super good. And you know, going from one RNG stage to another, we do have some Robot Storm. The RNG in the stage is brutal, so it's actually really funny. You need a ton of RNG in Robot Carnival. You need 8 different level ups, 2 Charmy, 3 Vector, 3 SBO in that first one. For this one, you only need level 2 Charmy and level 3 Vector. But unlike in Robot Carnival, if you don't get it here, you are in big trouble if you don't get the RNG. It's like Robot Carnival, it's like it's rough, but you can like survive. There are some really rough moments if you don't get it. And, that was really scary.
That was the battle of all time. Talk about that with your friends next time you go to the store.
Yeah. But yeah, thankfully we got it though. So we got it at the part where we want it. So we don't have to cry today. It'll all be okay.
We got our crying done.
Yeah, unlike most levels in the game, the team wave these like robot wave fights don't have checkpoints, so you gotta really be careful because any death will lose, like you'll have to restart the whole level. So, you know, knock on wood, but she got the levels, so. Yeah, luckily, every single character is very good at dealing with robots, just in general. So, you can see level 2 Charmy just mows through them.
Yeah. Note that I had to delay that a bit there. If you show up too early to that robot aerial chain thing, they just don't spawn. They just don't. I don't know why. They just decide. It's been a long day. I'm going to bed.
Right? Yeah, no, those, yeah, it's like the 3 birds on the side. Yeah, it's like Katie was talking about. They do not show up if you are not on the ground when all those robots spawn. Like the flappers in the middle will be there and you can kill them, but it won't count in terms of like existing in like the plane of existence of like where we need it to be to make the next enemy spawn. It will just be like you just have to sit there and wait. Basically, it's really annoying. But you know, obviously Katie, inexpert. She's gonna do it right.
That was stonks, by the way. We got a lot of rings from that.
Yeah.
That was a lot of rings, yeah.
You get very rich from Team Blasts with Team Chaotix.
So many rings, it fills up the Team Blast again. That's how you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Did he really think he could stop us with that?
All right, we're approaching the final zone in the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Game goes by fast when you're speedrunning.
This is Express Lane.
This is true. Like, we've got a hard cutoff at 59 minutes and 59 seconds. The way my producer loves putting it on the screen. Like,
Zoom.
This whole thing collapses if we go past it. Trust me, it's happened, I think, twice. And it was bad.
Heartbreak.
Once we start a job, we finish the job. That's the policy.
Egg Fleet.
Here we go. Yeah, our next totally a stealth mission. Totally.
Oh, absolutely.
These guys will have better vision than the frogs, right? Totally, right, guys?
They
Yeah,
do
yeah,
sometimes. So one thing that
Yeah, sometimes they're really good.
sometimes that something that is kind of weird about this game is that oh no, a bit unfortunate. There's luckily there's a checkpoint right there though, so
Nice.
we're already here. But when when you're in just have a character selected, your other teammates can sometimes be like really far away or kind of like flying around doing their own weird thing. So when you're gliding like over the door that she did in the beginning of the level, your teammates can just like attack like one of the robots down there and get caught immediately. So it's a bit of a random weird thing that can happen.
Yeah, really funny. Well, Katie, we get another try at the zip.
Yeah, maybe it'll work.
The zip, super cool. This was a baby one, but
that makes
still
sense.
we got it.
This skip is
Yeah, this stage is actually, for my money, one of the hardest stages in the run. Mostly just because of this midair start throw.
Yeah, she's actually flying. She's like gliding outside of the range of the trigger that makes those platforms move. So she's like landing on it when it's in a weird, awkward position, which is the only thing that makes that possible. But it's a really cool double rocket excel shuriken throw, which is kind of a tech that you see more in other teams, I feel like. But just using the in-game mechanic of the rocket excel, which is like this game's kind of boost mechanic, and then using the shuriken throw to just maintain her speed into the air, and then you can also jump out of it, which basically makes you able to jump a lot farther than if you were not doing that. Oh wow. Okay. 123.
Yeah, I was a little worried I was gonna jump off.
Well, thankfully we didn't. You know, don't pay attention to the 2 doubts. 123. That's a really good time.
Yeah, it's okay.
I like how we go from really good time to it's okay.
Yeah.
world's most humble runner.
That's how speedrunning works. Your brain gets so infected by a mold of perfect time.
Well, this is the last major stage, Final Fortress. This one is super quick. We have 5 keys that we need to collect. There are 10 on the stage. Some of the keys are a little more spread out. They like casually, like you wouldn't expect to get some of these keys when you get them. So it's like you would generally go through. However, because we know where they are, like all like the early ones, this stage goes by super quickly. There'll be there's like some cool movements, and there's another one of those, how I was talking about it back in Grand Metro, of like when the power character is around, and if you're not doing any actions, your friends will help you out there, so there's like another stuff like that. That is such cool movement there. We didn't really talk about it at all. It did happen a few other times, the catch-up flight. If not all your characters are like in the flight formation when you do it, your character will go forward a bit, almost kind of like spazzing out like that. And so you get like that extra speed that you kind of carry over, and it's super fast because normally if everybody's in the totem, you really only go straight up, and when you go forward, it's very slow. So we do take advantage of that a few times in this stage.
The level's already done. You only need 5 keys, although I think there's like 10 in the level.
Mm-hmm. I accidentally missed a rail, jumping off a rail and gliding there. So I actually did a bubble cancel, which is essentially the ground excel tech, but you glide before hitting the ground. And that allows you to have your speed, but as a vector. So you could just glide across. It's a neat little backup. I also did something there where I rocket excelled into the pole, and I swapped to flight to be able to grab the pole in flight so that I could jump off and then fly up to that platform. It's a little tight, but it's very useful.
All right, this is the final level of the game, Egg Emperor, and we have a way to try to cheese this boss and kill him more quickly, but we need level 2 Charmy, because as we saw earlier, level 2 Charmy kind of does damage where level 1 Charmy doesn't. So right in the beginning, she's double rocket excelling, trying to get this Charmy level, which is just on the runway, It's actually the capsule that you can see that's like yellow. Get this one, and then have her teammate hit the bubble up there, which is the second one. And let's see. Both teammates are on. GG.
That's time.
Whoa!
Yeah, surprise!
It's a surprise.
Really fast boss fight.
Charmy goat confirmed.
That's what I'm saying. Charmy is the GOAT.
That's the most wholesome part about Sonic Heroes speedrunning, is that just like the storyline of the game, every character helps.
We can do it all as a team. Keep that in mind. Next time you go outside.
This just got so wholesome for my blackened heart. I don't know what to do right now.
The Monster Energy heart.
GG's, everybody.
We did it! Woo!
We did it, friends.
In case you didn't know what the story was, we found Eggman. Eggman was actually the client this whole time. Chaotix needed rent, so yeah, I don't know if Eggman's gonna give them rent, but you know, it was fun. So this game is really cool. I actually really like speedrunning this game. I think it's a really good speedrun to get into. If you want to get into this game, we have a Discord that you can join. Also, the relevant Sacer community events and that kind of thing that hold tournaments for this game, as well as other Sonic Adventure games as well. Highly recommend getting in the Discord, going into the science channel and learning all the neat little intricacies of this game. This game's very quirky, and this game has a lot of potential that's yet to be explored. And it would be so cool to have more people on that journey.
In addition to the Discord, where can everybody watching find you and all your wonderful commentary? Which also shout out to banger commentary. Like that was
Ooh, that's an honor. High honor.
We're talking Nicolas Cage levels of that's high praise. So where can they find all of you?
Okay, so you can find me at twitch.tv/KD4_. It's heads up, it is an 18+ stream, but you can find me there. I also have some YouTube. I have a Blue Sky as well, so if you want to hear me say funny things on the internet, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just do my own thing. Commentators, where can they find you?
Yeah, I am on Twitch at Game1T. I do some speedruns of a lot of different games, and also some casual playthroughs. It's awesome.
Well, you can find me over on Twitch on USR. I run this game. This was a main game for me. I basically run every single 3D Sonic game to some degree, less more. You know, I am currently on the Shadow Gens hype train. So if you've been liking Shadow Generations, want to see runs of that, you should check me out. I think that game's pretty cool.
Yeah, and for me, it is also on Twitch. Those appear exactly how it's spelled on the screen. Nothing crazy. I have also been on the Shadow Gens hype train. It's been really fun. So if people do want to see the Shadow Gen stuff, both me and you, both of us, check us both out. But also, sooner or later, very soon, I will be back on this category in particular for Heroes as well. I really want.
Thank God, some content.
So I'm really excited to play this.
Spence no longer holding up this game.
Yeah, Spence. Yeah, shout out to Spence. Shout outs to Deku. Shout outs to Aura A66. Shout outs to Sid. Shout outs to all the other Heroes runners in the world. Shout outs to Jam. Shout outs to Joey Freefall, my goat. Shout outs to everybody else for being a part of this community. It's been wonderful. It's been a fun time playing this game, and I hope to see more action in this game in the future. Shout outs to women too. I really like women. Yeah,
we're
that's
pretty
it
cool.
for me.
Yeah, again, that was absolutely amazing to watch. So cool. GG's one more time for the entire Sonic Heroes team. And right now, we might need a little bit of a hydration break because that was awesome. But we still got more Sonic. We have 2 more Sonic games, and coming up next is going to be Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with Flubler. So sit tight, stretch, hydrate, do whatever you want. I'm not. Hello and welcome back to our second half of this awesome Sonic episode of Express Lane. But before we go there, again, always, I have something to say. I just kind of yap a lot. Anyway, so you all have a task. I want one of you specifically, yes, I'm pointing at you, to type !Discord in the chat right now. Because I want you to join the official GDQ Discord channel or server and add the hotfix role. That way you can keep tabs on all the upcoming events, you can talk with staff, and a whole bunch more. But you need to type !Discord in the Twitch chat if you want more info on that with links and all that goodness. Now, while y'all fight for that right to be the Discord dropper person, I'm seeing that in chat. Y'all are awesome. We are going to hand it over to our next run, which is going to be Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Hero Story with Flubler. So Flubler, take it away.
Hello everyone, I am Flub. I am an SE2 runner, and we got my commentators, Jazz and Seahawks. Why don't y'all introduce yourself?
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Seahawks. I exclusively run SA2. I run many categories.
Hi, I'm Jazz Ensemble. I also run Sonic Adventure 2. Mostly Hero Story, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah, so we shall get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Good luck.
Good luck.
Alrighty.
Alright. So we're starting off with City Escape, which we're skipping the cutscene, but basically all you need to know is that Sonic is getting arrested and he's trying to run away. And he starts off very stylishly by going on a skateboard thingy that he kind of got from a wing of an airplane. Anyways, in this first level, Flub is going to perform the very first major skip of the game called City Escape Skip. Basically, if you time your spin dash and unroll and trick off the ramp at the exact same time, you can go out of bounds and skip 20 to 30 seconds of the level.
Rip.
Does he get it? Oh, no.
I will go back and go for it again.
See it.
Do it.
We'll see it regardless.
I think that should be it. There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
That should be
There
it.
we go.
There it
Nice
is.
job.
Nicely
Nice.
done, Flub.
Oh, wow.
And because, we skip, a portion of the level, we have to do this, section in the bad cam. Basically, the camera is facing towards Sonic instead of with him. And so we have to navigate these rails, which is a little more difficult than usual. But it'll come within practice. And now we're being chased by a truck with some crazy downhills and speed pads.
Mm-hmm.
And what we want, ideally, is to basically stick on the ground as best as we could. Nicely done. By the way, Flub.
Very nice.
If you fly up in the air, sadly, you lose a bunch of time, which can happen commonly. But thankfully, it didn't happen to Flub.
Yeah, we also did a nice little moonwalk at the end. Sonic becoming Michael Jackson for a couple seconds. Pretty cool.
This game of tag is bull.
True. Now we got our first boss of the game, Bigfoot, and thankfully we can skip all the animations with Bigfoot flying around the entire arena, as all we gotta do is homing attack to the front left box and attack him as he rises up. And there's 4 hits for this boss total. Nicely done, Flub.
Let's see, do we get
Very
the...
nice. We'll see if
that's a
we
frame
got the
perfect.
frame perfect.
That's a frame
Nice.
perfect
Best time you
Let's
can
go.
So,
Nice.
yeah, basically 2139 is the best time you could get on this boss.
All right, we're going to be going into the first
All
Knuckles
right.
level now. It's a hunting level. The hunting levels essentially work by giving you 3 locations that you have to find the emerald piece. They're randomized. Some of them are really
Ooh.
bad and we just reset. Ooh.
We got a nice little
That's a piece 3 out of order, which is nice to see.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, very,
very nice
very
set.
good set
Wow.
here. 13.
Nice. 13 Wild Canyon. Good RNG.
Yeah, these
Or the
these
hot
levels have roughly 100 pieces per stage. There's 30 possible first, second, and third pieces, roughly. And I'll talk more later about how the RNG works in this game, but what you need to know is that it's somewhat random, but we can learn a lot.
And right now we got the hardest boss in the game.
Hardest boss. This is like harder than Dark
Oh
Souls
my
boss
gosh,
right here,
it's so
honestly.
difficult.
It's true.
I mean, we pretty much confirmed Sonic is pretty much the new Dark Souls, so that doesn't surprise me anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that boss is just hold up and shoot. Okay, we've got Prison Lane. So Tails essentially is in a mech for this game. And we want to do a lot to preserve speed. And mostly what that means is tiny hops around corners if we have to turn very sharply. If you turn sharply without jumping, you will lose all of your speed and have to start accelerating again. So to preserve all that speed, we're going to be jumping. We're going to be locking onto enemies through walls to get early events to happen. Yeah, coming up on an elevator, we'll be locking onto an enemy through the wall. And then at the end, towards the end, when we get there, there's a really important enemy that we lock onto through during the hallway, through the ceiling. I'll point it out when it happens. Yeah, we got a 50 elevators, pretty like normal time to get.
And you notice Flub is like pivoting. Basically what you do is you go full back, full up in order to do a pivot move, and that will preserve the speed for the mech. If we have to like wait on like doors and whatnot.
Okay.
So there's a lot of early locks you can get in this tunnel. Like right in this corner, you can get 3 early locks, get everything in here. And right here, we shoot the enemy through the ceiling. And that opens this gate right here so that we don't have to stop or anything. Get all these enemies here. And that's
Nice.
it.
132.
There you go. 132.
Pretty good.
Very difficult stage to get into, by the way, especially for a new player, because there's so many 90-degree turns and like the mech characters aren't very beginner friendly, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all about getting those, conserving your speed.
And we got Metal Harbor. Basically, there's a giant kill plane that's lurking at the bottom. And we know that Sonic can't swim, according to the Sonic X anime. And so, yeah, don't fall in the water, essentially.
Nice 1859.
1859 upgrade, very nice. And right now, we just got the light dash upgrade, which essentially we could cross light dash trails, such as this one, just by pressing the B button. And this is gonna be our first instance of the. Ooh, no.
It did happen.
So if it did work, you would have seen like a burst of speed, like out of nowhere that just happens in the air, which is known as loop speed. Basically, there's like scripted speed in order to help Sonic just run on loops and whatnot. And so we can use that to our advantage by homing attacking at the back end of the loops in order to like launch ourselves to do some crazy tricks such as wall runs or skip like portions of the level.
We didn't see it this stage, but there's going to be multiple opportunities later on to see that. Ooh,
And
nice
we got
wall
another
boost.
boarding section. As you can tell, this is basic. This is a pretty early run killer for us speedrunners. And 120, nicely done,
Pretty
Flub.
solid.
Very nice. Now,
And yeah, I was gonna say we got the most iconic cutscene in the Sonic franchise coming up.
all right, this I gotta see. That is a tall statement right there.
It's true though.
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hedgehog again of all places. I found you.
You know, I would reenact it, but I wouldn't do that because my internet is trash.
Yeah, we'll all be out of sync anyway.
I have no idea if our sync will be good. Yeah.
Love this.
But basically, Sonic and Shadow meet up for the first time, and now they're gonna brawl it out in the forest.
Yeah.
And so, right now we're gonna be taking advantage of the storage mechanic, which, if you've noticed in Metal Harbor, normally there are somersault barriers that like you just have to press the B button for Sonic to somersault for, but because like the somersault and the spin dash button are mapped to the same button, you can take advantage of that as like there is a delay between the somersault and the spin dash input, so you can pass through barriers and whatnot without actually somersaulting, which in that case we could preserve a lot of speed. Oh, right now, blows up as the Emerald fan base.
Shoutouts to Emerald.
Once said. And as you can tell, the forest is about to blow up. One of SA2's most iconic stage, Green Forest. A very, very difficult stage, but it looks beautiful if it's done in succession.
Thankfully,
There
we've got
are 3
one of the
different
best
types of wall
players.
runs. Oh, that's right. So there is this trick called LSBA, which basically, if you notice, when we take a death, our IGT timer is stopped, and we save time over that because our current timing system doesn't time the death, as it essentially only times the IGT and the pauses specifically. So that's how we're able to save
nice,
time,
31.
and we save a second because of that. And now we got a pretty difficult trick coming up, known as the Green Forest Wall Run. And let's see if Flub
This
gets
is a
it.
big one. Oh,
Okay, so
Nice
there it
loop
is.
speed.
So if you remember when I talked about the loop speed mechanic, that is one of the instances we take advantage of, and it's a pretty major skip. And how it, in this case, how it works is that we loop speed to like one of the trees, and there are certain parts of the trees where you can run up, and so we can take advantage of that by
Wow.
just skipping the
That's a
entire
very
tree line.
good time.
Beautiful.
Wow, beautifully done. 111 Green Forest.
Nice camera lock task run with the Air Jordan at the end, which is the trick where you go off the tree
yeah.
right at the end to save like 2
I was not
seconds.
expecting to hit that. That's why I got the checkpoint.
All right, we've got our
Very, very
second
nicely done.
hunting level here. This is where we're gonna pick up the shovel claws. The game forces you to pick up the shovel claws by making sure that the third piece in this level is always buried
Oh.
the first time you load in. Ooh,
Funny thing to
okay, good
mention,
first piece.
you guys hear no music? That's just because I went into the upgrade frame perfectly with the hints. So you're not going to hear anything.
Oh.
Sorry, no Pumpkin Hill
Yeah,
music.
funny Silent Hill, we call it.
Okay,
Yeah.
unfortunately on our hunting cheat, there isn't anything like listed
Yeah.
with these 2 piece combos.
Okay, I'm actually gonna explain the 1024 if that's all right.
Oh, okay. I mean, that was solid.
Go for it.
Okay, so basically, there is a limited number of sets that can possibly spawn, and on the first load in, there's only 1024 possible sets because there is a global timer in the game that cycles every frame and counts up to 1024 and then resets. Or it counts up to 1023 and resets to 0. Basically, because of that, the limited number of sets means we can sometimes determine what our third piece is before ever seeing a hint based on our first and second. That may or may not become a factor in the run. Okay,
But it is pretty helpful.
Yeah.
so this is Mission Street.
Yeah.
We're also going to pick up a unskippable upgrade in this level, which is the hover right here.
21.
With the hover, we can go considerably higher with something called a pause hover,
There we go.
like that. Okay.
There you go.
So basically, pause hovering
Oh, no.
removes the gap between your A inputs. So you do A and pause at the
Oh,
same
that
time.
works.
Ooh,
That was
clutch.
really close.
Ooh, that was very,
Clutch.
very
I
close.
played that.
And
Oh, man.
Flub is, Flub is currently trying to maintain a cycle here. This is a very cycle-based level, and he's currently still on the fastest cycle. Yeah, so the pausing basically allows you to have a 0 frame gap between separate A inputs, which gives you the maximum possible height. So it allows us to get onto that early wait and get this early cycle, which is coming
This
up.
is one of the most stressful pause hovers within the run. Let's see if he gets it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, clean.
Okay,
and
That's
we're
an
good.
easy
Nice.
0
Very
cycle.
good.
Easy 0 cycle. Very cool.
Which is the fastest cycle known for this stage. which is why we named it Zero Cycle. Because you don't wait for any cycles.
Well, yeah, we used to not know about how to get onto the wait, so we used to go for a first cycle, and this was discovered later. I think like around 2012 or something.
Oh, really?
Like that.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
I might be wrong about the year exactly, but it's around that time. 2012 to 2014 or something.
And we got a 201. That's very good.
That's a very, very nice time for this
Yeah.
stage.
That is about as good as you can get here.
I'm noticing a trend here. It's like, get the time. That is a really nice time. I think you're doing casual awesomeness right now. Just
Yeah, I would say we're on a pretty
I
good
think he's
pace.
going beyond gaming.
All right, another RNG stage here. Let's see what we got.
This one is very, very fast stage, but it is like a really fun stage to play, as there's a lot of technical movement in here.
Okay.
Let's see, behind two
Okay.
heads. So the idea with going to the top room is that we lower the water level to like the lowest height, as like there are a lot of clips in the stage that we can take advantage
and
of.
wall
Ooh,
run.
we get wall
And like
runs.
we're seeing one of the technical
Ooh.
movements, the wall run, which essentially you just punch, as like you run up the wall, the sign, you punch Excel, which is just punch while
And then we go
Knuckles
with
is
a
running at
bounce.
maximum speed.
There we go.
I found him.
Yeah, you can tell
And
that's a
we did-
really flashy level.
Yeah, and we did a sign clip as well. I think we did it all for Aquatic Mind with a 30.
Yeah, this is perfect.
And we got driving.
Yep, for 2.5 minutes.
hey.
Yeah, this is normally where we do donations if we were doing that.
Well, actually, what we can talk about is, because I know this is specifically hero story, there's also a dark story option. So if all of you want to talk about like the differences between the two, and if you have preferences to hero or dark story.
Sure, I think
So-
we should briefly cover what we're doing here.
Oh
just
yeah, do that
very-
first, please.
So we're doing something called snaking, which is essentially just staying in a drift the whole time, because drifting has a higher speed cap and allows us to just maintain full boost speed for the entire course. And besides that, it's just about getting the rings in the right spot and then taking good lines, good driving lines. That's basically the whole thing. So
Oh, fair.
yeah, I guess we can talk about. Yeah, this is the
so with the
geek
dark
route,
story, you are playing. Well, you are basically within the same story. You're just playing like the evil characters, I guess is what we'll refer to, with Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman.
Okay.
With
yeah.
Dark Story, you have 2 less speed stages, as Dark Story has 4 speed stages, and Hero Story has 6. You have more mech stages, as well, I guess technically Tails and Eggman had the same amount of levels. It's just Tails has a driving stage and Eggman doesn't. But that's okay. We left the driving to Rouge, as she's a spy.
Yeah.
Yep, and she has about the same amount of levels as Knuckles, except she has 1, I guess, less pressure hunting level, as opposed to Knuckles, who has 5.
Gotcha.
And Rouge has 5 stages technically, but like I said, we left the driving to Rouge.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
Dark Story.
I would say. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, in my opinion, I like Hero Story a little bit better, but I think they're both fun in their own ways. I just think Dark Story has a 2-minute stage auto-scroller basically in the beginning, which I don't really enjoy, but you know.
Also the
Yeah.
end. One of the levels in Dark Story, towards the end, you just hold forward and A for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. There's a
Jeez.
lot of downtime in
And they
Dark
don't have
Story.
a bounce bracelet. They don't get the bounce bracelet.
I also
around.
prefer Hero Story. A little more than Dark Story, but I think they're both
Although Dark is
great stories
cool,
regardless.
they do have some really flashy skips.
That is
So-
true.
So still check out Dark. Shout outs to Devu.
That's Evu and KD4.
Ah.
And now we got the desert stages, the hardest in the run. If you remember what I said about Metal Harbor, well, we got another giant ghost plane
whoops.
lurking on the floor. Ooh, as we
Yeah.
Particularly that one right there.
That's an invisible
This is actually
wall
just
that
such
you
a
can hit.
chokeable,
There
very
we go.
chokeable level right here.
Oof.
Pause hovers are going to come into effect greatly in this stage. This is the most technical tails stage in the level, or in the.
We hit two
Ooh,
back-to-back
very
frame
nice.
perfects. That made up for it.
So that is a double frame perfect trick. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. Very, very cool to hit that. That's called IL pull hop. It's actually common to go for it, and if you miss it, there's a backup that is less. It's only single frame perfect.
We're gonna go around this
And
way.
Oh, the bottom route too. Yeah,
The
of course.
bottom route. Oh, this is gonna look cool.
Well, it wasn't until that happened, but there we go.
Bottom route's a
Oh, yeah,
little bit
then now we
trickier. Can save about half a second.
And now in this stage, we have like doors that you have to break with your Vulcan cannon.
Oh yeah, these doors are funny. They actually have some iframes, so if you shoot them too quickly, they won't break. So the best strategy is usually to time 3 bullets into the doors, and it's going to be slightly different for each door. If you're moving towards a door, you actually have to account for the Doppler effect and shoot slower. Just a little fun fact for you.
And now we get the last set of pause hovers in the run. Nicely done.
There we go.
There we go. No more pause hovering. A lot of us with pause hovers just because we are timed to do our pause hovers fast, and sometimes that leads us to rushing them and whipping them completely.
740. Really good.
Still
Wow, very
740.
nice time.
Yeah, wow.
I'm just kind of blown away right now that Flubler's like, I'm doing all these like really hard or double frame perfect tricks without like taking a moment to like prep for them, just doing them casually.
Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta go for them.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. And then we got a Pyramid Cave. Very, very hard stage. But there's a lot to this stage, a lot of technical movement. As you see right now, what Flub is doing is that he's riding the side of the walls in order to maintain the speed as he stays in spin dash form to like quickly glide through the tunnels. Oh.
Ooh,
Okay,
yeah.
very, very nice. I didn't expect him to go that.
Yeah, this route is actually an optimized version of what we used to do, and it's really cool that it's coming back.
All right, and we got the task spring skip. Let's go. And now we are introduced to a mechanic called super bouncing. So what it is essentially is that when we spin dash right before we attempt a super bounce, we bounce into a wall and it converts our horizontal speed to vertical momentum, which is why we're able to fly upwards. It's very abusable and very fun to mess with in a bunch of stages.
We're also going to see some skewed gravity here.
True. Is we got snakes. Oh, no, we're going for hex skip actually. A harder skip, in fact. Does he get it?
So yeah, that's another example of a loop speed trick, by the way.
Very, very nicely done.
One more super bounce into a gravity bounce.
123.
Nice.
That's still a good
Nice,
save.
nice. 123.
Still beats my fastest time in the level.
All right. This might be a little scary.
And now
lives.
we're in Death Chamber. Essentially, probably the hardest hunting level to.
Oh, that's a good piece.
Oh, that's a really good piece. It's a really difficult hunting level as the stage is very big. There's a lot of enemies that can kill you, and
we're probably going to be using deaths on purpose here as well.
Oh yeah, as the stage name implies, Death Chamber. We're going to be taking advantage of what is known as a death strat. So basically, we take a piece that is outside of our spawn room, and now we are praying that we can get a spawn room piece, as we did right now.
Nice.
Oh, we didn't get this one.
And this is...
Ooh. Is it the
and it is
chest?
faster than going to your next piece, on average.
Oh, here we can do a little
I
cool
cannot
flip
read
out.
the...
It's Iron Protects the save.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah. What? And now we got the...
Oh, I'm not going to make
right
it.
Here.
Rip.
Yeah, not quite.
This stage
you
is
need really
very,
good
very
glides
broken.
for that.
There's a lot of clips
46 is solid.
in this stage that are heavily abused.
Ooh.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's really
we do
cool.
not like to stay in bounds for that stage at all.
I know.
Yeah, it's very slow.
And then we got King Boom Boo, which I don't know why he's here. I'm gonna be honest. He just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like legally distinct King Boo from or like King Boo's cousin or something.
It has to be. I mean, they're both within the Ghost family.
Flub is going for an early bait attack, which saves 2 seconds.
I missed it, unfortunately.
But we're still getting the cat boost, as it's called, damage boosting to get the early hourglass. I was gonna go for a 1 cycle fight.
Yeah, so casually, this fight just takes too long, but
in a run, it's a
thankfully
joke.
we know how to like. Yeah, we kind of just like do this. We just finish him all in 1 cycle, and he did it.
Nice.
Very important to get that 1 cycle. Loses a lot of time if you miss any hits.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you remember, I was talking about the super bounce mechanic. We're gonna do this in this boss, but a lot harder considering that we don't have like a big wall to like super bounce off of. We have like a tiny lip or a curb.
Yeah.
As they call it.
Nice.
Yeah, these are the tightest super bounces in the game. This is a really ideal start to the fight right here.
Yeah. Oh, that is basically the most ideal fight.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Jump off the arm, perfect fight.
And then we die early
ideal
here to
stop the timer. Yep.
Yep.
All right. You want to take
next stage?
Take this one, Jazz?
Is my specialty. Yeah, I do. This is Eternal Engine, and in 2018, the summer of 2018, there's a new skip found for this, where we break both of the boxes to break out of bounds. You'll see what I mean in like 10 seconds, hopefully. If you get a first attempt, no pressure. Ooh,
if I get
not
it first,
quite.
okay.
Alright. So we have to back this up by taking an intentional death and then trying again.
It is worth noting that this trick is significantly easier to do second try as opposed to first try.
Yeah.
Because,
the
like, the way
load
the box
order of the
loaded
boxes changes how easy it is to clip out of bounds. So we get it on the backup. Very good. He's doing an early drop and he's already pretty low, so he doesn't have to drop at the end. So yeah, we're out of bounds.
All right, we were going a little bit too fast there for the internet. So first off, shout out to Tech for getting everything all sorted. But we are back with some more Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Heroes story with Flubbler. So welcome back.
Welcome back. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we should be good. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
All right. Shall I begin again? I suppose.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Okay, go for it.
So, what you missed me doing was a strat in Eternal Engine called Bofa. I got to the goal ring. Now we're in the RNG stage. So why don't y'all explain what's going on for Meteor Herd?
Okay, so we're in Meteor Herd, which arguably has like the highest variance of RNG, as we can get range from like something like a 20 to like a minute. It's a pretty big run killer.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Isn't this something? Wait.
This
I know it.
Pretty large.
I know what this is.
Are we?
Oh, I know exactly what this is. Hold on. I needed a minute to remember.
Okay, so this is the 1024.
Yeah, there we go.
To play.
Yeah, there it is.
That's a confirmed set right here.
Yeah.
So that's an example of knowing the first 2 piece locations sometimes can determine your third based on knowledge. Very cool to see.
Well, the 40 is not the most ideal time. It's not that bad. So thankfully we didn't get trolled by RNG that hard. But that stage just loves to troll when it comes to RNG swing.
Oh, bless RNG.
Yep. But now we got like the most simplest fight.
Yeah, this is a Rouge. We're gonna jump, glide, drill at exactly 8 seconds, and then just drill into her for the rest of the run until she's dead.
Yep, there it is.
That's
oh wow!
Before the platform opens up and the gravity manipulates.
Yep.
So like everything's floaty. And now we got Crazy Gadget. This is a very insane stage. So what Flub is gonna do is he's gonna perform a trick called CGSS, known as Crazy Gadget Skip Skip. The reason why it's called Crazy Gadget Skip Skip is because we had a slower skip found like a long ancient time ago called Crazy Gadget Skip, also known as CGS. So CGSS, as the name implies, we skip the skip.
Whew.
It's a pretty clever name in my opinion.
It makes sense.
Wow. Okay. Very nice check time, 22. And now we're going to see CGSS. Ooh, Viki got out of bounds. And this is the original way of doing it, as you can't really see yourself where you're going. So you kind of have to make out like the moving parts in the background to keep forgetting to hit the goal ring. And you get
nice.
That was a very
That
nice.
is faster by about a second-ish and a lot scarier.
Oh,
Very
wow.
cool to see.
Yeah. But thankfully, we have a good cam variant. So if you don't want to do this scary version, we have a friendly version.
Yeah, there was a much easier version.
And then we have like the boss that basically haunted a lot of people's childhood. Because casually, this boss is actually really, really difficult.
Oh, I
But
messed it
thankfully,
up.
we manipulated this boss. I guess we didn't get the AI manipulation.
Oh no. Oh,
Okay, don't die,
dang.
don't die, don't
Unfortunate.
die.
I got a really bad pattern from the boss in the beginning, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
This boss can be tricky if you mess up.
Yep, as we saw, unfortunately, Flub died. Yeah, as he also, Eggman for some reason cheated, as he has this like giant laser that like shoots across the entire arena. And then he also has like another special attack that just like shoots a bunch of missiles. And that homes in on Tails specifically. So yeah, I think Eggman kind of cheated that fight.
I've trained for this moment. Let's see if I get this strat. This is the hardest skip in the run.
Yeah, this is the new hardest skip in the run. There's going to be a very narrow gap between a bunch of kill planes at the bottom of this sort of corkscrew helix part. I'm going to just be quiet to let Flub focus for this.
Yeah. If we get some drum rolls.
Aw, darn. I will try it again. I will try it again. I will try it again. I really want to show this. I lost a lot of height there, so.
So basically, you have to navigate through a bunch of kill planes, and there's a lot in this stage. They're not all connected, as like there are gaps that like, well, you would imagine that there would normally be kill planes, but there aren't. And there's a lot, and they're quite big, in fact.
This particular gap is small.
It's very tiny.
It's tiny.
There we go. We're out.
Oh,
there it is.
1,
Oh, whoa.
2.
Yep. There it is. We got
Okay,
it.
now I need to count.
Okay, one more kill plane.
One more. I think we got it. I think that's
so at
it.
this point,
What?
we'll see the stage load in, and he'll either have enough height, or he'll have to go.
And
for
we got
backup.
it. We did it.
Okay, let's
go.
That is
This
plenty
is
of
a
height.
new skip, by the way. Well,
It's
I guess,
the
like,
newest
how you
skip
define
in
it.
Hero
It's about
Story.
2-3 years old. About 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years old. Actually crazy to think about that this skip is 3 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is a fantastic time, 109.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you didn't get it first try, but still flashy regardless.
All right.
And Chad is popping off with funny toasters.
All right. We're it's about to be time, so get ready.
Oh.
Time ends, I guess, when
On a
Shadows.
fifth.
1, 2.
3. Oh,
Oh, never
Four.
mind. I was wrong.
Four.
I messed up because
3.5.
there we go. And time.
there you go.
There we go.
Time.
Sorry.
GG's.
GG's.
What was the RTA? If I may ask?
A little tough to say. It's probably going to be somewhere around 31-30-ish.
Oh, nice. That's really
Yeah.
good. We
Nice.
finished 3 minutes under estimate, considering the technical
Nice.
difficulties and everything. I'm really happy about that.
31-28. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. ignoring the fact that those two look so sad right now.
I know.
Yeah, it's the story. They think Sonic died, but yeah, we skip all the cutscenes, so you don't even get to see the lore. Just play the
That's
game.
fair.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Oh, but yeah,
Oh yeah, for those wondering, the V1 was a 2305. So,
oh wow.
Nice.
which is a pretty solid no reset for me. So I'm very happy about that.
I feel like whoever made this game was a big fan of Independence Day based on the bottom of that ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
It's the ship used to blow up the moon, which we skipped the cutscene for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
fair.
A lot of classic cutscenes in this.
there's a we had to skip the moon genocide.
But yeah, again, GG's, where can everybody find you? Like, Flubler, you and your commentary. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch. I'm just Flubler. Right now, I'm actually trying to stream attempts for the world record right now. So I'll be streaming this game all the time and doing runs of this along with some other runs like Sonic 06 and Sadix as well. And same goes for YouTube and pretty much everywhere else. Why don't you guys share?
I guess I'll go next. I'm Seahawks the best. You can find me on Twitch, and I think my Twitch has a bunch of other socials. On my Twitch channel, I exclusively mostly run Hero Story, but I do run Dark Story. I am currently trying to aim for top 5 in this category.
And I'm Jazz Ensemble. You can find me on Twitch at Jazz Ensemble. On Blue Sky also as Jazz Ensemble, and on YouTube as at Jazz Ensemble.
Thank you guys so much for
Awesome.
having me. This means a lot for me to get into GDQ. So,
Oh, yeah, and if you want to get started on running this game, we have a public Discord for SA2 speedrunning.
Nice.
It should be found within our speedrun.com page. And we're friendly individuals. We like to help out the new runners as we get a ton of them.
yeah, for sure. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Seriously, that was an absolutely amazing run. I'm so glad all of you had such a good time. And again, chat, GG's one more time for Flub and that absolutely awesome Sonic Adventure 2 battle run. But don't go anywhere yet because we have one more Sonic run. And that's going to be some Sonic Rush adventure. So sit tight and express. Hello. We are back for the final run of today's awesome Sonic-filled episode of Express Lane. And of course, one more thing I have to say before we head on over to that run is, quite honestly, if you've missed any of our shows or events, make sure you watch the VODs over at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And if you're at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick, hi from the past, you should really check us out live by going to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. All week, we've got some awesome runs on Hotfix. So with that, again, one more run, and give a massive shout out because it is very early o'clock for this wonderful gentleman. We are going to be switching on over to Sonic Rush Adventure with Speedbreaker 55. So take it away, and good morning.
Oh, hello, Asuka. Yeah, it's pretty early morning for me. So yeah, this is Sonic Rush Adventure, the second game in the Sonic Rush series. As I'm here with Kirby, who's kindly decided to commentate for me this morning. I mean, from doing with me, even for him. How would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kirby. I'm primarily known for running the Advanced series, but I've also speedrun the Rush series as well. Pretty awesome games, and Speedbreaker is going to kill it.
Yeah.
So what is this category you're running?
Oh yeah, so this category is all islands. This is pretty much the shortest category of any full game category. The only thing disclaimer is that in time attack mode, like with missions, there are no checkpoints. So we'll be going through all these islands with like basically only one life, which seems alright for the most part, but for the latter levels, it's gonna be proven like
you do today.
should things go well, we won't even need 50 minutes for this, given this is express lane under an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready to go, you can kick it off.
Okay, so I'll count you down. I'll count from 5, 4. Actually, no. I'm going to select character. So first character, I'll be going to Sonic. I'm also be tackling Plant Kingdom and all the hidden islands in order for easy following.
Nice.
So we'll be counting down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm off.
Good luck.
Good luck. So this is one of the boost games, and you can see the boost meter on the left side, which was introduced by the first Fresh game, and this is a boost game, similar to 3D boost games. You press the boost button to boost, and you just go fast. That's the main gist of it. You do need to have a boost. You need to have boost meter in order to boost at all, and the way to get boost, for the most part, is by tricking in this game. And Speed Breaker is actually going to be skipping a little bit of an auto-scroller here coming up, because there is an auto-scroller at the end of the stage, but we can jump over it right here, and goodbye.
Nice.
Yeah, so
One thing I've noticed.
that was actually...
Sorry?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, because it is, since it's a Nintendo DS game, it's a dual screen game, and I'm noticing that SP is just bouncing between the two screens. Like, how hard is that to get used to, and knowing like when you're going to switch screens?
I don't know. Like, I guess personally, I've always found it fine casually, because I found it... I mean, I guess it throws some people off, but for me, when I played the game casually, like, the game generally does a good job of making it clear when you're going to switch screens, because like, oh, you're going down a long vertical shaft, or vice versa, time to switch screens, and I've found it intuitive personally. But I can imagine it, like, for someone not quite used to it, it seems really weird. Like, right here, you're going to go to the top. Oh, actually, Speed Breaker skipped it. Never mind. I forgot about that. But yeah, typically with this category, I think we go by in-game time, by summing up the in-game time of all the stages we clear. But yeah, we're going to be fighting the first boss, and there is a decent chunk of luck with this boss. Thankfully, there isn't like a huge amount of variance with it, but basically, we want to make sure that we bonk the head of the... What's the name? Ghost Rex, I think? The head of the Ghost Rex as many times as possible. And Sonic does have an air dash in this game by inputting the R button, and Speed Breaker is getting these double hits, because normally when you hit the head of Ghost Rex, you bounce off of it, but you can initiate an air dash to get a second hit per jump. Here, when you get this pattern here, you'll kind of want to try to get as many consecutive bounces as possible without landing. Otherwise, he's going to back off.
Yeah, it's exclusive in normal mode specifically. And one thing with time attack mode is that it forces normal difficulty. So normally, we'd be able to come off its head and able to still do damage, but in normal mode, it just lifts its head up whenever you land, as Kobe mentioned. Now we're heading off to the second phase, where Ghost Rex just stomps the ground, and for some reason, there's a whole different path below which we didn't even know about.
Immersion. Yeah, the standard full game runs where you start from like an actual new game instead of going through time attack mode, they're typically done in easy mode, and a lot of the boss fights actually differ quite a bit between easy and normal mode. Like, this fight is completely different on easy mode, not even necessarily easier for speedrun context, but it's just really different. Of course, it's faster, but still. So the last hit of most, if not all, boss fights kind of have like a fatal hit phase where their HP is pretty much 1 right here, and then you have to land a hit before they recover HP, which is typically pretty trivial. I guess the game added it in for a dramatic effect, and honestly, they did a pretty good job of it. Yeah, that was Ghost Rex done, and we're moving on to Machine Labyrinth. And one of my favorite things about this game is really just the aesthetics, because I find that this game probably has some of the most interesting and unique areas in the game overall. Like, now we're just kind of going through this machine factory with all these smoking pipes. There's going to be a hang glider segment too. So, yeah, it's really cool, isn't it, right? So yeah, for those who might not be familiar, you can kind of see that giant number in the upper right corner of the active screen. Every time like Speedbreaker hits a spring or a loop, he's spamming tricks. So every time you press the B button after like a spring or a hoop, you do one trick, and then you can complete the trick by either pressing the R button plus a direction, or pressing the A button, which just completes the trick. So completing the trick is pretty important because you don't really get much boost out of individual tricks, but you only really get the payout of tricking by completing your trick. So you have to make sure that your last input of your trick combo is the A button. Also hang glider. Otherwise, you're not really gonna get much boost. So this is different from Rush 1, where Rush is a lot more lenient with that, where you actually get a pretty significant amount of boost from just spamming the B button individually. You still get more boost out of completing your tricks in Rush, the first game, but but this game is a lot more harsh on making sure that you need to know what you're doing with completing your tricks to get the boost you want. But they just work differently. Another way to get boost, just killing enemies. Pretty straightforward. It's pretty seamless, right? Like, I find it intuitive. Yeah.
So we'll get the exclusive aspects of this game.
It really is. Alright, well, that was Act 2 done pretty quickly. So here's the boss coming up. The boss is very random, but again, if you know what you're doing, there's not gonna be much variance with it. So basically, Speedbreaker needs to hit these balls into the boss. The more speed you have when hitting it, the farther and faster and harder it goes. Starting off, we have the light ball, and you kind of knock it back at the boss with minimal speed because it's a small one, but eventually a yellow one will come out that's pretty medium sized. There it is. And then a really big red one's going to come out soon, where you really need a lot of speed to knock it back. Can you even knock it back in one hit? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I think you can, but you have to have a lot of momentum for that.
And you really want to try to hit with the bigger balls if you can, but sometimes they might just be in really inconvenient spots, so you might have to like improvise and take advantage of hitting with the smaller balls when you can. So here's the red one. Getting some big damage there.
And each one does its own amount of damage. So if you hit like two at the same time, it's two separate parts of damage. Or is it like all the same?
Yeah, they're all different.
Precisely, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know what happens if we happen to land two on the same frame, but presumably they'll both hit and do different damage.
I've not seen any difference, so yeah, probably both separate damages.
Gotcha.
So now we're going to go into one of the more challenging ones. So right now, we're going to be going onto these rigs, and now we're going to do a reverse rail jump, which is slightly different, mapped differently how it is in the first one. Cody, would you explain how it differs?
Yeah.
After I restart, because I just forced it too soon.
Yeah, I believe the jump button in Rush 1, when you're grinding on rails, you can trick by mashing the R button, but in Rush, the first Rush game, I believe the standard jump button is still jump, but in Rush Adventure 2, the standard button becomes trick while grinding. So you have to reach out and use, I think, the A button to jump, so you have to press Y and A to do a boost jump off of a rail instead of YB, which is really awkward. I'm actually pretty annoyed by that change, but oh well. So yeah, like all these rail jumps that Speedbreaker is doing, they're a lot more awkward than you look because of that button layout change. You can boost in the opposite direction, and a lot of times, best way to make like a shortcut is by doing a boost jump off of uphill incline, which includes rails as well. So that's why you're seeing him do a lot of these reverse boost jumps off of these rails. Just get these really big high jumps. It's like in a lot of Sonic games, like there's a concept called, like you've seen these in the previous Sonic runs in this showcase, that when you jump off off of an uphill incline, your speed gets translated into less horizontal distance, but more vertical distance. And then vice versa if you're jumping downhill. So that's the same concept here.
Okay. I do appreciate that those types of concepts are like interchangeable between most, if not all, of the Sonic games.
Yeah. I personally ran a lot of 2D Sonic games. I just started learning Sonic 1 Game Gear today, and it is very different. I am not used to it. The slopes do not matter for jumping there. But I digress. We have this cute little gimmick where we're riding on these little carts, and they are kind of auto-scrollers, but there are ways to save time on these. Oh wait, you don't jump out there, never mind. Maybe not.
Yeah, I just missed it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I was trying to remember like if you're supposed to jump over like uphill inclines or jump down like hills while riding on the minecarts. Because I vaguely remember that being faster.
Accidental showcase of the whole game.
Yep. The end of this act does have like an actual auto-scrolling minecart segment. It's actually pretty cool, despite being an auto-scroller. Like they really wanted to show off the DS's capabilities with this kind of game. Same with Rush 1.
Okay.
Where you kind of enter. Well, you'll see for yourself when we get there.
Yeah.
Here we go. Whee! Cute little mini game.
Now we can navigate wherever.
Okay.
And thankfully, there's no route that saves any time, so we can just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, you can pretty much go in any direction. I vaguely remember looking into like the different routes, and like they seem to vary by like 1 frame, but I don't even know if that's consistent. So like, I don't think it really matters. Okay, so this boss is called Ghost Kraken. I don't know how you pronounce it. And there is an interesting little strat that Speedbreak is going to be going for, but as you can tell, the weakness of the boss is that glowing green flashlight looking like tentacle. And we are looking for a specific pattern for this strat. And we'll see if Speedbreaker gets it. If he sweeps across the arena with his tentacles, that is bad. But he did not. We're getting this pattern, and if Speedbreaker gets the setup for it...
No.
Okay, well, maybe he'll do it again.
Okay, I got the part.
Yeah, you kind of want to wedge yourself in between the walling tentacle and the green tentacle, and then you just kind of get an insta-kill there.
Oh, gotcha.
But he got half of it. Well, maybe we'll see it again.
All right, boss, behave.
Come on.
Yes.
Yep. So this is the pattern, so... All right.
Don't believe that worked.
I'm shocked that worked. I was like... Because that's actually still not the quick kill, but it worked out. Hey, and there's the last hit.
Oh, nice.
Well, we didn't see the bad pattern a single time, so that's really nice.
So next we're going to be moving on to the Haunted Ship. Personally, I use Sonic for this. It's had a ton of practice.
Yeah, there's a second character in this game, but did you know that?
I found out about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, there's a character named Blaze. I think like a lot of people, like 3 people would use Blaze. I would recommend using Blaze typically, but Sonic is generally faster for most stages, but he tends to be riskier. There are going to be stages where Speedbreaker will use Blaze, but for now he's going to be using Sonic for most of the main acts.
Okay.
And the main difference between them really is that Sonic is just strictly faster. Like, he boosts faster, he runs faster, he's just faster. But Blaze can hover, and her tricks also go much further. So if there's like specific shortcuts that she can take that Sonic can't, then or if there's like really big gaps that are unreliable for Sonic to make, then Blaze can be better and or more reliable.
Makes sense.
I believe we just made that with Nick of Boost.
Oh my, yeah, that was really close. That was a really big shortcut Speedbreaker took with a reverse boost jump. I'm guessing you're sticking to Sonic for Act 2? Okay, you're switching to Blaze.
Not quite.
Okay.
On the real one, I use Sonic for that. Because I think he's about 1 second faster consistently. but it's just, the final skip with Blaze is a lot easier.
Oh yeah, and there's that little exploit too.
Showcase.
Yeah, so you can kind of tell Blaze is a little bit slower than Sonic when she just boosts, but on the other hand, whenever she tricks, she goes yeet. And there's a bit of an exploit here. So he just got the quick trick upgrade where he can spam tricks even faster. And normally when Blaze does her forward trick, she teleports forward for like half the screen and then comes to a complete stop. But when you have the quick trick shortcut, you didn't get it. Oh.
I did trick too early.
Yeah, when you have the quick trick upgrade, you don't come to a complete stop at the end. Instead, you just keep moving at teleport speed. And he was trying to go for that to skip the cannon, but alas. I think you'll see it again in a different stage. So.
Okay.
Because it'll be one of the hidden islands.
It'll be very fast. Sadly, that exploit doesn't get seen very often because that upgrade usually is just not in the way in most cases.
That makes sense.
So here's the fourth boss, and again, a lot of luck to it, but again, if you know what you're doing, it's generally not too bad. Kind of just want to keep hitting the orb over and over again and try to make sure you're close to it because bumping the orb likes to knock you back pretty far. And Blaze is just nice for this boss because hovering just gives you a lot more flexibility and also makes it a lot easier to get the fatal blow when the orb's at 1 HP.
So wait for the boss to come back down before knocking the last hit, so it makes it come back to the boss faster.
But that one I didn't know about.
Okay.
And then for the fatal blow, the orb just likes to fly around really erratically, so being able to hover with Blaze just makes it a lot easier to hit it.
That makes sense.
So next up, we're going to be using Sonic, and for this act stage is really something. Just wait and see.
Let's watch. Wee, wee, wee.
So as you see, Sonic goes really fast when he's on the snowboard. What causes that is that I use the Sonic Spore trick while not holding anything, and this is Sonic only.
Yeah, I don't know what causes it, but you just go so fast if you do a forward trick without a direction, but on only a Sonic. So, while snowboarding. Sadly, it does not happen with normal gameplay, but that would be a little bit too broken.
Yeah.
And tosses a snowboard, and we just have a standard stage for like another 10 seconds. If that even.
What? Perfect.
Oh, wow, that was clean.
Nice, 48.
That was really
So
good.
what happened right there at the end? It was super clean.
Oh, just very clean movement. Like, he had to land on the tip of a loop without hitting the item box, so you can just plow through the item box.
Gotcha.
So, sadly, we did not have SADX in this marathon which would have been a shame because this is a hilarious shoutouts to Ice Cap Zone from SADX with these icicles. You'll see one more case of it coming up here, I think. There we go. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah, there are a lot of these ice slides and blizzard peaks. Nice trick, by the way. And they're generally pretty slow, so you kind of want to avoid them if you can. Can't avoid them entirely, but want to do what you can.
Like I've said
So right over here.
Sorry, go for it.
No worries.
There you go.
So fun fact, it is actually possible for someone to skip this final slope here, but it's extremely risky, and I save it for ILs only. Because it's extremely risky, and it saves like only a second, so it doesn't really make much difference.
Makes sense. It's like what I was saying with previous Sonic runs, and I'll say it again here. It's just, it's always mind-blowing watching people at such high level of Sonic speedruns. Just the movement is amazing to watch. I loved Sonic as a kid, and I was happy to get through a level, like without losing a life, and just watching all of you play these, like playing out of your mind. It's so cool to watch.
Sonic games are just really fun to replay and master. I don't know. This is how they are.
I'm more into the fast-paced aspect of it.
Me over here. I'm just happy to beat him. Start there.
Yeah, this boss.
I think Sonic Unleashed was the first one I beat.
Oh, really? That was your first.
Oh, no.
Ooh, interesting. That I did not know.
Nice.
Because like with the late classic games, like most people, I wasn't able to beat those as a kid. Once I got a bit older.
Oh yeah, I think Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles are my first Sonic games, but I've never beat them because I think I got stuck by the notorious barrels in Carnival Night.
Oh, Carnival Night, bless.
Oh, Carnival Night.
Yep, I was a Sonic 1 girl. That was my first one, and we're not going to talk about how long it took me to finally beat that. Anyway, so boss fight.
Yeah. What's a boss fight? Because I just did 3 stages. On a serious note, this boss is kind of really interesting, but it is basically 3 stages without boost. So it kind of tests your mastery, I guess, of non-boost gameplay. Because your physics are actually pretty different between bosses and main stages. Because you don't have boost, and so your best way of gaining speed is doing a tiny hop after a spin dash. And then once you land, then you just go a lot faster.
Okay.
But yeah, and then when he was the fatal blow. Nice.
Very nice.
So it looks like this is one of the quickest spatial blows that you ever see dealt with. Okay, so now on Sky Babylon.
Yes.
This is another one I don't recommend most people play as Sonic.
Yeah, no.
And I just missed the jump.
Unless you're Speedbreaker, do not do the stage with Sonic. Very dangerous with them.
Fair enough.
This is a stage that really rewards being able to cover and stuff, but again, Sonic is still ultimately faster technically.
Gotcha.
But this is another stage where Blaze does shine quite a bit. Also one of the coolest stages aesthetically. The music's a banger.
Now, how hard is it? So, if you start playing this from a speedrun standpoint, and you start off with Blaze, how hard is it to kind of switch your strategies from Blaze to Sonic, or vice versa in this game?
They control mostly the same, really. So it's not too different from, say, it's probably a lot more similar than the Heroes teams, for example. Because the Sonic Heroes teams have, I feel I don't speedrun Sonic Heroes, but I'm familiar enough to know that the 4 heroes, the 4 teams in Sonic Heroes, they have the same basic controls, but they do have quite a few differences to distinguish them from each other. And I don't think I think that differences between Sonic and Blaze aren't as prevalent as the teams of Sonic Heroes, for example.
That makes sense.
If you can pick up Sonic, you can probably pick up Blaze and vice versa. There is someone who's actually been going ham on specifically Blaze individual level speedruns named Nameless Spectre. I think that's their name. So it's really cool to see more people picking it up, and actually bopped a few records from Speedbreaker. So it's just awesome to see more people picking up these games.
Wow.
So this stage, I definitely recommend using Blaze for this. Because even me, I struggled to beat this as Blaze the first I played this as a kid.
These stages are hard. They're very fun, but also difficult.
So right now I'm making use of Sonic's boosted vulnerability to go through the fires unharmed and maintain a lot of speed.
Can you... I know in Rush 1, you can actually run across spikes if you're still boosting. Does that apply in this game too? I don't think... It doesn't matter for the actual speedrun, but I'm trying to remember if that matters. Casually. But... Boosting...
Sky Babylon definitely matters with Sonic. But I think Sky Babylon's the only axe stage.
Through spikes? You definitely boost your fire.
Well, not spikes. Yeah, fire, but not spikes.
Sky Babylon is just really cool because you just see all these little bits of levels where you're just kind of going to the foreground or the background, but it is a little bit slow. Blaze can skip some of them actually, but the skips are very difficult. And ooh, this part caught me so badly casually. Like controlling these, controlling this orb thing is hard than it looks because you have to make sure that both Sonic and the entire orb doesn't hit like a single wall. Otherwise, the entire thing breaks. And like when you turn, it tilts the entire thing diagonally.
So like that, the entire like yellow casing around it, you can't let anything touch that.
Yes, and those rainbow lightning bolts you see, those insta kill you.
Oh,
thankfully,
I hate it.
Thankfully, there is a nice shortcut here. Thankfully, there is a checkpoint right before that.
But it's all islands, though. There's no checkpoints. It's just for show.
Oh, yeah, time attack mode. The checkpoints don't work. Yep.
Oh, no.
Anyways, Blaze the boss layer coming up here. So, this is a boss where... You pretty much have to get to the top screen to hit the boss. And you want to hit him as many times as possible without falling back down. So we're going to hit these green and little orb thingies to get to the top. And every time you hit the boss, you can trick. And Blaze's tricks go way further than Sonic's, making it much easier to keep her up on the top screen than Sonic. Still not easy, though. It's still far from easy. Because you kind of intended to land on those green platforms and just try to get as many hits as you can by jumping off of it and hitting the boss and repeating. But tricking is just way faster and easier to do that.
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, at this point, Speedbreaker does not want to fall on the bottom screen. Well, obviously, one, because you want to see the top, but...
I'm done this time.
Oh, dear. Because you don't want to see this attack. You don't want to see this attack. Because that attack is pretty time-consuming.
Gotcha.
While you're on the ground, I calculated it loses about 15 seconds.
Oh, that much? Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it is painful.
Yeah, because like falling to the bottom screen in like the first like third of the fight isn't bad because the boss isn't going to do that charge attack. But there's like a specific HP threshold where once you're on the bottom screen, he will do that charge attack.
Still nice recovery.
Yeah.
So next up, another challenging level, which is the final zone of the main game, Pirates Island. Let's go.
Speedbreaker is very brave for using Sonic. I'm just going to say that.
I'm noticing a trend for some of these levels.
Yeah. Like when I speedrun
this game... pretty much the... Oops, sorry.
I was going to say, like, when I speedrun this game, I always use Blaze for Haunted Ship, Sky Babylon, and Pirates Island. Like, the entirety of them.
I feel like Speedbreaker's the don't try this at home for this specific game.
Pretty much. Might be Act 2 that I'm thinking of. This Act 1 might not be too bad with Sonic, but Act 2 is very sketchy with Sonic.
Oh yeah, if I calculate correctly, there's like 3 dangerous jumps.
Ooh.
And this one, I think there's really only one.
Yeah, lots of cool little gimmicks. You can kind of see these fire hydrant-like thingies where you can kind of aim them by waiting. And you can also trick off of them. But it's really cool. You get to grind off of the water. So that's neat.
So this is the dangerous jump I was talking about.
Those giant piston anchor things, those are insta-kill, by the way.
Oh.
I think they're on a local cycle, meaning like they don't start moving until you get close. The camera gets close to them, roughly. So like if you do the same thing, if you do like the same thing in like the preceding 3 or 4 seconds, then they will always be in the same spot.
I was just about to finish up the first stage. About to start part 2.
Yeah, part 2 has a lot of dolphins, and dolphins are great, but they are basically autoscrollers, so you want to avoid them as much as possible. And
fair enough.
There is one dolphin that requires crossing a very big gap. I think that's pretty early in the stage. So you're probably going to see it pretty soon with Speedbreaker. And again, do not try this at home with Sonic. I think it's like here, roughly.
So right now, the only reason someone's able to make it across the first part is because you can bounce on the...
Oh, there we go. That's it. That gap is so tight to make.
Nice.
That gap is so tight to make.
Right, Right, let's see how this goes.
Oh.
Gonna gamble.
Oh. Ooh, nice.
Made it. And that's the third one.
Yeah, those little fire, those little like fountains that he shot up around, are those move, by the way, horizontally? I don't know. Are those on local or global cycles? I think they're local. I don't remember.
I think those might be global.
Okay.
Because when I get it slightly later, I don't end up not making it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So right now we're gonna head to the unskippable dolphin. Because that last one we just got placed and skipped that with Fire Hover, but this one is a big tall wall over.
Yeah, you can't skip this even with Blaze, because you kind of have to go all the way up across the bottomless pit and then back down across the bottomless pit.
Oh, gotcha.
So even Blaze can't skip it.
Believe it or not, that jump is not so dangerous.
Really?
Jump to that dolphin. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
even in ILs,
that jump to the dolphin is pretty
100% of the
reliable.
time I hit.
Yeah.
100% of the time I hit that dolphin, even in IL attempts. So that you can actually try at home if you.
You should try it at home. Like, it's actually a lot more consistent than it looks.
No kidding.
All right, so here.
So that's the danger zone over.
Time for the boss.
And now we're heading to the semi-dangerous zone. Because with these bosses, the more times you get hit, the further out your ring spread out. Unfortunately, these guys can hit you a lot.
Yeah, so like in a lot of Sonic games, you can kind of just tank hits infinitely with just one ring, but that's actually kind of dangerous to do in the rush games because eventually, if you get hit too many times, that one ring is going to keep flying further and further and further until you just can't get it anymore.
Gotcha.
So what Speedbreakers, so most of these bosses, Johnny and Whisker, they have different health bars. Johnny has less health than Whiskers, so the priority is to focus on Whiskers because your bottleneck is whoever you kill second. But you also want to make sure that someone is constantly in the animation of taking damage because they do have like a co-op move where if they both aren't in the middle of their damage animation, they will do the co-op move and they are invulnerable doing it. So you kind of just want to make sure that one of them is getting buffed at all times so you avoid that animation. And Speedbreak is doing a really good job of it right now. Ideally, we lock Whiskers against the wall because he really likes doing that really big jump attack. And oh yeah, here's one attack. There it is. Ooh, that is pretty unlucky.
Yeah, that jump attack is invulnerable the entire time, so you can't hit him at all during that animation.
But if you trap him against the wall, then his big jump animation gets cut off because he just gets clipped by the wall. So you can just hit him more quickly that way. Whiskers is the big red guy.
I legitimately love all the boss designs in this game so
bosses
far.
Are great, yeah.
Like they just have this really like unique aesthetic, and this guy just looks cool.
Both almost down.
I just see my ring is starting to spread. Okay, Whisker's gone.
Johnny should be down to one or two more. Wow, that was like perfect in terms of like the damage management. Jeez.
Nice.
Now we're gonna face off against Big Swell.
Yep. So this is like the final boss of like the main game, but Speedbreaker still has 16 smaller hidden stages to do, and the true final boss in this category. So what you're supposed to do against these cannons is to knock these green missiles back, but you can actually damage the barriers of the cannons by taking damage against it yourself. Don't ask. And then you need to press A when the crosshair is at the very center. And you can want to try to get 6 hits in a row. Reason Speedbreaker is using Blaze is just because she's a lot more reliable in staying up there. Because it's a lot easier to stay up there by hovering multiple times as opposed to a single air dash that Sonic has.
Of course, you can use it multiple times. She can land those hits a bit faster than him too.
Yep, again, taking damage against the barrier to do some damage to it because reasons. Crosshair actually starts moving faster and faster, and if you want to be able to get like the multiple hits, you have to get it in the center. Otherwise, you only get one hit and you get knocked off immediately.
And I've noticed a lot of these bosses are very damage spongy in a way.
Well, we do speedrun easy mode if we can.
Oh, fair.
But this is time attack mode.
There's a rematch version of this boss. When we get in the Sun Emerald, we have to face the final 2 bosses again.
Oh, yeah.
For 6 and 7 Sun Emerald. And this boss can be very dangerous. I remember my first one, I almost died to it.
Oh, no.
I think I've done an all emeralds
Right,
one where I died to it. It is very scary.
I was literally like 1 frame away from dying. If it hit me like a frame later, that would have been a death for my first all emeralds run.
Yeah, like this boss can also just be scary because again you're trying to take damage against the cannon barriers to break the barriers more quickly. But again, if you take hits too many times, then your rings start flying further out, so it can be kind of risky just in general. Like you're already seeing those rings just fly all over the place because Speedbreaker's taking so many hits here. Ooh.
Ooh,
that was really scary.
Ooh. Still nicely done.
All right, bets in chat. Do you think Speedbreaker will survive? This boss has a final move up his sleeve. Oh no.
I don't know. That's
pretty sketchy. How are we gonna dodge that?
I honestly don't know. Without breaking the game, no idea.
Is he okay? Hey, we're fine.
Hey.
All right, we survived. Lived long enough to
GG.
hit islands.
All right. Yeah, so this game just has so much content in general. So this game actually has like a world map. And like a world map you can traverse with like all these little boat mini games. Some people aren't a fan of them. That's understandable. But if you like are really thorough about exploring the world, then you can actually find all these little hidden islands that are basically just extra levels. You're actually required to do some of them for story progression as well. And there are 16 hidden islands. And due to the nature of most of these, they're really short in general, and that really gives Blaze's tricks a huge chance to shine over Sonic's. So like, well, there we go, 7 seconds right there.
Oh wow.
Way faster than Sonic. And just because these hidden islands really reward the ability to take like those quick shortcuts off of tricks. And like because they were so short, Sonic's speed advantage doesn't really have that much time to kick in and make him faster than Blaze in some of these stages. Of course, Sonic is still better than Blaze in some cases like this, but ooh, that's unfortunate.
I died. So let's try that again. So what was supposed to happen? I was supposed to hit that spring, but what happened? Is that I was supposed to hit that spring, but I was in the foreground, so I ended up not hitting it.
Oh, I gotcha. I was like, huh? That's Hidden Island 3, 13 to go.
Yeah, those are blazingly fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you said, oh yeah, this is the boss, so we have 16 more islands. I'm looking at the time going, are you sure about that?
Oh no, these are fast. So Hidden Islands 1 through 5 are actually required to beat the game for story reasons. Like Hidden Island 1 is required to unlock a specific zone, same for Hidden Island 2. And then in the main game, you have like a little fetch quest you have to do around the world, which requires finding and beating Hidden Islands 3, 4, 5. 6 and onward are all just kind of optional.
Gotcha.
I'm running out of boost there. Ooh. Yeah, boost can get pretty tight in this game, especially since you don't get very much boost from individual tricks in this game.
Now we're going to swap back to Blaze and go back to Hidden Island 5. You probably guess the reason for that.
Don't blink.
Very soon.
Yeet.
Oh, I love that for us.
One of the hardest things about this category is knowing who to use with each hidden island.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, this is it, isn't it? Yeah. So there's that little. Here's a quick, the quick trick ability, and when Grace does the forward trick, yeet, and you're gonna see it again. I think around here. Oh, I guess we lost it there.
Nice.
That was still good though. Yeah, because with the quick trick upgrade, Blaze's forward trick normally comes to complete stop, but she ignores that for whatever reason while she has the upgrade. Boing, boing,
Get out of my head.
boing. Oh yeah, you do run across spikes there. Forgot about that. Okay. You usually try to have like a little bit of fun with specific gimmicks in these hidden islands. It's kind of cute, honestly.
I'm a fan.
So now we're back at Hidden Island 8, which is, we're back in Coral Cave, but this time a major auto-scroller. Well, all auto-scrollers.
As I said,
Yeah, I noticed this one had a little bit longer time than the other ones.
lots of these hidden islands like
Oh,
their
yeah.
little gimmicks. These jumps are intentional, by the way, like making sure you jump when you have more speed so you carry it, or jumping over uphill inclines if you can.
Makes
In
sense.
the minecarts.
It's always minecarts. Doesn't matter what the game. It's always a minecart.
Always minecarts. Enjoy the aesthetics here. Get to get cozy here. It's like those minecart mini games from Donkey Kong 64.
Oh gosh.
Remind me, does the path to take here matter? I don't remember.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Get cozy.
Yeah.
I feel like
Nice.
that particular minecart segment was what Virtual Highlight wanted to be or wanted to have when it grew up.
Yeah, that's the longest hidden island. There's a good reason for that. But most of the rest will be very quick. Nice 1042s in those time attacks. Yeah, Sonic can just run across spikes when boosting. It's kind
Oh,
of funny.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Play Scanzu.
So what was supposed to happen though is that's supposed to land on that small platform and then jump on top of that enemy and run all the way across.
And that was totally intentional. Don't worry about it.
Never doubted for a moment.
Never doubt. I think the stage is technically faster with Blaze, wasn't it? Or am I misremembering?
Yeah, I think Nameless boxed it.
Yeah, Nameless Spectre, who I mentioned earlier, who's been doing Blaze Isles, they actually bought the Sonic record with Blaze in the stage. So that's actually kind of a cool win for her. Wow. Yeah, these hidden islands really like Coral Cave. I kind of forgot how much they spam Coral Cave. It is pretty. I don't blame them.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like a beautiful cavern.
Very nice cool tones cavern. I love that hammer that had to just show the 3D effect of like coming at you as it raised Sonic up to the level above it.
Imagine if this was on 3DS then, with the 3D.
Ooh. Oh god, I'm one of those people that got headaches when I'd play the 3DS, no matter what I did.
Oh,
like
that
how
sucks.
like weak, like I could play it on like a weaker setting for just enough time to kind of appreciate it, but then my brain would be like, actually, it's time for you to stop now.
Oh yeah, this is a snowboarding level with actual platforming. And yeah, those jumps are actually pretty tight to make.
Nice.
Thankfully, it's a very short stage, so it's not a big deal missing the jump, relatively speaking.
Let's just skip those entirely, but she's like 2 seconds slower. Let's say back the lowest time.
Hey, Blaze hype. Blaze the cat.
Oh no. Pull all the way down and hit boost once you hit the ramp.
Nice.
But Hitting Island 14 is one of my only safe plays I do. Because Sonic is faster for this, but there's one jump I specifically use Blaze for.
I don't remember half of these, so
We're just vibing.
just vibe. I think I've eye out like
Right here.
Oh, that would be really risky, Sonic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Possible, but even I wouldn't try this scene of run just yet.
I can see that being possible, but yikes, that is scary.
There's nowhere to respawn.
Oh yeah, we have a haunted ship Hidden Island. I forgot. And Blaze's up trick is kind of really good for the stage. Yeet, yeet.
Actually, for this All Islands run, do you have to play it in essentially game order, or is it just kind of do whatever you want in whatever order?
I think the rule with the rules we have, it's whatever order you want.
That makes sense.
Yep. Oh, has anyone played Sonic Rush? This stage should look familiar.
It does.
Yeah, it's literally the same layout.
Slightly.
It is literally the layout of the first stage of Sonic Rush. It's very cute.
Somebody had a little mistake on the memo, thought it said 15 secret islands, and it actually said 16, and I'm like, we're just gonna put this level in here. Nobody will know.
It's funny because like there are some minor differences between this game and Rush. So like a little bit of the strats are actually different for the stage.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess in that case, they had to make it a little legally distinct.
Yeah. Are we doing the... Okay, so we also... I forgot to mention these, actually. We have 3 racetrack stages, Hidden Islands, that are also considered part of the category. So these are micro stages. There's 3 of them. And you have to make 5 laps around it, and you're just going to see him go really, really, really fast. 5 times around this stage.
Yeah.
I think I personally had a lot of trouble with these, so I did these first when I speedrun this category.
Oh, that definitely makes sense.
So I think normally we would do the Ghost Kraken first because to get the quick kill, and that can save up to 40 seconds.
Yeah, I personally didn't because I don't know. I just like doing the zones in order. I'm just stubborn like that. But Hidden Island is really kind of different. There's like 2 different paths you can take in this stage, and there's like a nice intended shortcut that you're seeing Speedbreaker dip into right there, where he's kind of jumping into a bottomless pit, but then going left to hit a hidden spring, and that lets you get on like a much faster path, and he's doing that every lap.
Whoa.
Ooh, that was close.
Got it.
He's also trying to make sure that he stays on the correct path, because there are typically different room layers on most stages. Because like how the game detects if you're like on which side of the loop, the game has to have like invisible path swappers where it kind of says, oh, you are on this part of the loop, so now we're gonna make this loop solid, and vice versa when you go through half of the loop. And that also applies to like different layouts where you see like foreground or the background of a stage and so on. Usually you don't have to really worry about it in Sonic Rush games. Kind of just handles it for you. But it is a thing that's in almost like every 2D Sonic game.
The Borders Crushers.
Oh yeah, so this route, Speedbreaker has to resort to a slower route on lap 4 because in this game there are specific paths that are blocked off based off the in-game timer.
Oh.
Yes, I think the fast path gets blocked off at like 30 seconds, something like that. So after like lap 2 or 3, you have to start taking a slow route.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the actual final boss. We are done with all the stages, and now we are doing the real final boss. And Sonic is just useless. So Super Sonic is useless.
Wow.
So we're just switching straight to Fireblaze or whatever her super name is.
She burns.
Yeah, she burns. And time will be coming up at the end of this. But you basically just kind of want to fire charged fireballs. This is a supersonic boss fight where you're required to get all the emeralds to unlock it. And there's a decent amount of luck involved, but like as long as you dodge it, it doesn't really matter. As long as you dodge every hit and don't waste time with your shots, you're generally fine. Boss is almost dead, so time will be coming up.
Nice.
There's 3 phases, by the way.
Oh, right. I forgot about this phase. Time will be coming up at some point. Don't worry about it.
False alarm.
False alarm. False alarm. It's been a while.
Someone in chat mentioned her super form's called Burning Blaze.
Oh, these hits are a lot harder to get than any luck, because it's really easy to like get hit by a fireball, but you kind of need to get in there to fire your shots.
Almost there.
Almost. Phase 3.
So time will land this time in the last hit.
The final.
The actual final phase.
And time.
GG's.
GG. And that was every stage, every boss in Sonic Rush Adventure.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Tails and Marine, they exist in this game.
And also them.
Yeah, they exist. Nice S rank. Great run, Speedbreaker.
GG's. That was so cool to watch.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Yeah, it was a bit of a blockbuster run. Of course, we took quite a bit unplanned came, but especially with Sky Babylon Pirates Island, definitely I'd advise using Blaze for those if you plan on running this game. It's pretty awesome to run, in my opinion.
It looks really, really fun, not gonna lie. But I know it is super early for you, so if you two like to give your shout outs, where can they find you, and what are you currently playing right now?
So yeah, my YouTube channel is Speedrunning55. My Twitch channel is SB55. Currently, I'm running Chronicles and some of the other Rush games. So yeah, feel free to check it out for some more runs in action.
Yeah, he actually recently ran Dark Brotherhood a few days ago on the RPG Limit Break channel.
Nice.
That is the Sonic RPG. So on a DS.
We'll allow it.
But yep, and I'm Kirby now, so you can find me at my Twitch, Cat Lover. I also speedrun a lot of Sonic games nowadays. Sonic Advance primarily, but yep.
And thank you so much for that run. That was so cool to watch. And get some rest, good sir. You've definitely earned it.
I'm going to bed.
both of you, get some rest. Go. But again,
yeah, absolutely. Definitely getting some sleep now.
Yes, do so. And again, thank you so much because time zones are always a not fun thing to navigate. So thank you so much for taking your morning to stop by on Express Lane, and GG's in chat one more time for Speedbreaker55 for that awesome Sonic Rush Adventure run. But friends, we are officially done with this awesome Sonic episode of Express Lane. But if you just got here and you missed out on Awfully Silly earlier, if you missed out on Express Lane, don't worry, boo, I got you covered, because guess what? We're just going to replay both of these shows after a really short break. But tune in tomorrow for the series premiere of Crosshair and the season 4 premiere of Speedruns from the Crypt. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, right on this channel, Games Done Quick Twitch channel. But until next time, I'm Asuka424, and we will see you in the Express Lane.